We also remind you that Parkview Sports Medicine Integrated Sports Medicine Team is built to serve all athletes in all sports.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions. We are broadcasting live from Southside High School, where tonight the Saints visit the Southside Archers as Jason Garrett and company are gunning for a 3-0 start. Before we get any farther, let's send it down to the sidelines. Sean McBride has a special guest for our opening prayer. Sean?
Thanks very much, Eric, down here with Father Dave with the opening prayer. Father Dave, when you're ready, we're ready for you.
Okay. Let us pray in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the joys of this day. We thank you for the joys of this evening. On this Labor Day weekend, we pray for all those who are laboring and are burdened, that the Lord may refresh them. But you bless all of our listeners from around the world this evening, and lead us all safely to your kingdom. You are Lord forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hey, can I send it back up to the booth?
Yeah.
Right. Back to you guys.
Father Dave, as only he can do.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Father. So once again, we welcome you to Jack Weicker Stadium. Alongside Corey Kitchen, I'm Eric Pete. And Corey, as usual, the Saints come into this matchup as an overwhelming favorite, both in terms of numbers and talent. But unlike previous years, Archer Nation has a bit of momentum going on their side tonight.
Yeah, great performance from the Southside Archers 1 week ago, right here on this very field, where they were able to overcome a halftime deficit to Northrop, block a couple of punts in the second half, and walk away with a victory, which I believe the first time since 2013, is that right, against Northrop? So
that's right.
Really nice win for a program that's trying to gain its legs a bit.
Yeah, and we'll talk at length about that tonight, but any way you slice it and dice it, it was a great night for the Archers. It was their first home opener victory since 2008. You can go down a laundry list of first ofs that they accomplished last Friday night. But any way you look at it, this team is now 1-1, and more than anything else, they've got some momentum, they've got some confidence, and that can only translate into good things, good positive movement for this Archer squad.
No question about it. They have some weapons, as they often do, but I think maybe this year even more so than the past few. I mean, if you look down the line, a couple of running backs in Anthony Thomas and Jalen Lattimore that had great weeks last week. Thomas had 113 yards, and Lattimore had 3 touchdowns for them. Their quarterback, Quincy English, doing a nice job. Trevor Hapner's kind of the heart and soul of the team, number 8. He's the defensive lineman and the individual that blocked both punts last week in the second half for their win. So they have some weapons. They have some guys that can accomplish some things, and they're just hoping to stay in this game long enough to make it interesting.
Absolutely. So Southside comes into the game 1-1 by virtue of their 26-14 victory last weekend against Northrop. And boy, this says it right here, Corey. This is their first time being 500 or better since 2009.
Wow.
They've just started behind the 8 ball so many years, year after year, starting with at least 3 straight losses or more in all 7 years of the Roosevelt Norfleet regime. So, hey, it is great to be back at 500 for the Archers. Meanwhile, the Saints 2-0 after their 39-13 victory over the Northside Legends last week at Shields Field. And, of course, they are still ranked number 3 in Class 5A. As we look at this matchup, Bishop Dwenger's had the upper hand. 17 straight victories by an average of 28 points per game. So they have not even been close. You have to go back to 2005 for the last Archer victory in this series. That was a sectional championship victory, 23-13 over the Saints. Well, we'd like to remind you folks that our scoreboard sponsor for tonight is St. Anne Communities. St. Anne's offers rehab, a nursing facility, memory care, as well as assisted and residential living, and is the only senior living community in Fort Wayne that offers daily mass and sacraments. St. Anne's is proud to support the Saints and the many Fighting Irish from Central Catholic that reside at their facility. Corey, let's talk about some keys to victory for tonight's game.
Well, I think starting with Southside, they've got to get off to a good start. Very important for them. They can't turn the ball over. and they need to force some turnovers like they did last week against Northrop in order to stay in this thing. For the Saints, I think they've got to improve the discipline from the 18 penalty performance that they had a week ago. They need to get some rhythm going in the passing game tonight as well so that they have some balance in the offense heading into next week's showdown with Homestead.
Right, you are. Let's go ahead and check in with Sean McBride down on the sideline. Sean, what do you have for us?
Gentlemen, good evening. As we get ready for the ceremonial coin toss, I did talk to Coach Jason Garrett before the game, and Corey, you're exactly right. We're going to work on fundamentals tonight. We're going to work on keeping it clean and do the basics even better. Of course, tonight will be a challenge. They never look past their opponent that's right in front of them. So a big key tonight also, though, because there's a nod and a wink there, stay healthy. Back up to you.
Well said. Yep, stay healthy, and unfortunately, you can only control so much. You can control what you can control, Corey, right?
No, that's a great point that you make. You know, a week ago, the Saints had, I think, 25 players out on their roster due to quarantine, etc. I'm told they're down about 9 this evening. And Southside's faced some of that adversity as well. They're down 5 guys, and I'm told, unfortunately for them, 4 of them are offensive linemen. So might keep an eye on the trenches when Southside's on offense and Dwenger's on defense, just to see whether the Dwenger defensive line has an easy time or not.
So the Archer offense is led by the senior signal caller Quincy English. He's got some big play capability. He was just 5 of 14 last week for 59 yards. A majority of the damage was done on the ground, and a nice two-headed monster there by the Archers in Anthony Thomas and Jalen Lattimore.
Yeah, very much so. And Lattimore runs hard and runs angry. I really like what I see when he gets the football in his hands. There were multiple times last week against Northrop on those 3 touchdown runs where he had contact well short of the goal line, but was not denied getting in. Yeah. So really like what I see from him and how hard he runs the football, and kind of a thunder and lightning sort of thing with Thomas as the speed guy and Lattimore as the power.
Yeah. Yeah, Thomas finished with 131 yards rushing, and Lattimore, as you said, had those 3 short distance touchdowns where he was able to plunge it in. That Southside squad, you said earlier, they were down 14-6 entering the fourth quarter and had 3 fourth quarter touchdowns to run away with the 26-14 victory.
Well, you know, something that I will add to that is that it seems to me anyway that in years past, having a deficit like that at halftime, they may have folded up and went home.
Yeah.
But not this group, and not under new coach Guy Lee. They had that killer instinct, were able to hang around and make something happen late in the game. And that also comes down to conditioning as well.
Sure.
Last week was warm. And the fact that they were able to still have gas left in the tank in the second half to pull off that comeback victory tells you a lot about the direction of this program.
Well said. Well, the players are on the field, and we're getting set to kick things away. As you saw, the Bishop Dwenger Saints won the toss. They have deferred until the second half, as they often do under head coach Jason Garrett. So receiving will be the Archers to get things going. Saints in their white away uniforms with blue numerals, gold pants, and the gold helmets. And the Southside Archers come out in their all green unis, green pants, green jerseys, white numerals, and the white helmets. Joe Belanda, the steady senior, getting set to kick things away for the Saints. And we are underway at Jack Weicker Stadium. This one's fielded inside the 5-yard line and out to only about the 15-yard line. Excellent coverage there by the Saints special teams unit.
And it looked like 45 in there. That's Christian Lozado, sophomore. Nice job on the opening kickoff team there by Christian Lozado.
That was Lamontrell Manning on the return.
Inside the 20, and that's great kick coverage. Anytime you can hold a team inside that 20-yard line, you've done the job on the kickoff team.
So the Saints defense sees the field first, and their defense, of course, has been highly touted all season long. only given up 2 touchdowns through 2 weeks, has the starting defense for the Saints. There's a first down play. Play action. English goes to the air, fires straight down the seam, and that overthrows everyone up near midfield.
It had some pressure on him there. Looked like 31. That's Cole Carey in there, as well as 55 for the Saints on that one. That's Joel Arntz. Both of them got enough pressure on Quincy to make him throw that a little sooner, I think, than he wanted to.
Looking for his 6'4" senior wideout, Derek Rutch. Falls incomplete, and a 2nd and 10 for the Archers.
I like the play action idea right out of the gate. I mean, I'm sure the Saints were expecting run, so just didn't quite connect.
English takes a snap, this time handed off and around the left side, looking for the edge across the 15, and dancing out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain is Anthony Thomas.
Yeah, nice job of bouncing that outside, finding some daylight and picking up about 4 or 5 there. Going to bring up, 3rd and medium length, 3rd and 6.
Yep, just what you want to see on a 2nd and long. So we'll see if the Archers can convert their first 3rd down of the ball game. Opening possession of the game.
Anthony Thomas quick off the edge, but diminutive at 5'5" and 165.
Yeah. Here's the snap. English drops back, fires it into the flats, and it is overthrown yet again, that time looking for Ashton Johnson.
Yeah, looked for just a little flat route there, try to pick up that first down, unable to do so. Looks like they're going to need to punt it away.
Colin Vance was on the coverage. Of course, he had 2 interceptions last week. Now, you can count that. You can say what you will about those, because those both came against not only the backup quarterback, but the backup to the backup. Rodney Woods, normally at wide receiver, forced into emergency quarterback duties, and Vance able to pick him off 2 times in that victory over the Legends.
Trevor Hapner, who we talked about blocking punts last week, is also the Southside punter.
Yeah.
So was getting off some pretty deep ones in warm-up, pregame warm-up. So look forward to watching him kick tonight.
He's going to be standing back at his own 6-yard line. And Henry O'Keefe deep to receive for the Saints. Low kick, this one bouncing at the 40-yard line, and O'Keefe content to let it roll to a stop right at the midfield stripe.
So many times that the Saints defense goes 3 and out, forces a punt, and gives the offense great field position. I mean, we're like a broken record in talking about that over the last 4 years of this defensive staff. And again, they do it. I'd love to be the offensive coordinator who always gets the ball at midfield or better.
Well, Corey, you may get sick of talking about it, but the Dwenger coaching staff, they'll talk about it all you want, I'm sure. 1st and 10 Saints. Evan Springer under center on this first down play. Teddy Steele takes us straight through the middle. Nice blocking, and Steele able to pick up 7 yards on a first down jaunt.
Just a straight-ahead smash-mouth isolation play. Steele behind KJ Tippmann, and the Saints are back up on the line of scrimmage, going to exercise a little tempo here.
And now Springer stepping back into the shotgun. 2 receivers out to the near side. It's going to be another inside handoff. Teddy Steele this time, lots of speed through the middle, inside the 30, now falls backwards. They'll mark him back at about the 32-yard line.
That's a split zone play where the entire offensive line blocks left. The H-back comes right and kicks out the right defensive end so that Steele can sneak up underneath there in that inside zone. So nice looking play from the Saints there to pick up the first down.
2 runs by Teddy Steele have netted a total of 18 yards. And a new 1st and 10 for the Saints. Man in the backfield, and Steele slips, loses his footing, and that's only good for a gain of 1 yard.
They ran sort of the same play, this time under center, and it wasn't nearly as effective.
That brings it down just outside.
Teddy Steele bringing his average down, unfortunately.
I think Jalen Lattimore, linebacker, who we often talk about offensively for the Archers, was in there to make that stop.
Steele has come into the game averaging over 8 yards a carry. And perhaps more impressively, he's averaging a touchdown on every 3rd carry.
They call him Touchdown Teddy.
Touchdown Teddy. You know, the kids these days call the touchdowns tutties. So he's
Tutty Teddy?
Tutty Teddy. Movement before the snap. This one's going against the Archers. I say the kids these days. I know Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski call them tutties too.
Tutties,
So.
do they? Okay.
That penalty of offsides goes against the Archers.
So 5 yards for the Saints, and we go from a 2nd and 9 to a 2nd and 4 after they march off the penalty yardage.
Well, anything that Tom Brady does, hard to argue with that. 2nd and 4.
We are scoreless here in first quarter action. 2 minutes gone by on the clock. And Springer in the shotgun yet again. Teddy Steele through the middle, following blockers inside the 20 down to about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, they're having their way inside right now. That defensive line for the Archers is a little bit overmatched by that Saints offensive line. They look good so far tonight. And most importantly, no penalties thus far.
Yeah. So KJ Tittman came into the game with the most touches in the Saints backfield, but he is flexing his muscles as a blocker on this drive. Now they come out in power I with Springer under center. And KJ gets the touch, finds the right sideline inside the 10 down to the 5, and a flag. This one's going to be coming back.
I may have jinxed us on that one. The moment I mentioned the yellow laundry, we get one on the field. So appears that that's going to come back with a hold, I believe.
Well, Sean was talking pregame about working on the fundamentals. I think one other thing that the Saints would love to see in this game is just to get that rapport working between Springer and some of these wide receivers who have yet to really connect very often on this season.
There's no doubt about it. They have got to get that going tonight, heading into a big showdown next week.
For the Saints will have it 1st and 17.
1st and 17 after the penalty. Springer's in the shotgun. Sioka and O'Keefe split to the far side of your screen. Handoff yet again. The Saints keep it on the ground. Teddy Steele spins his way down to the 15-yard line, and let's check in with Sean on the sideline.
Hey guys, you talked about that, the communication and the synchronization between the quarterback and the receivers, but you'll notice so far, I know this is the first drive and they started at the 50, but the ball is not in the air yet. I think they're going to do some ground and pound and grind up this defense, and then maybe see what the air can do after that. Back up to you.
Yeah, it appears they want to stick some points in there on the ground maybe first and then work on the passing game, but I would like to see them have a little more balance personally.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There you go, Corey. Springer looks to go to the air. He's got some pressure, fires this one into the corner of the end zone. Sioka tries to make a play for it. Can't quite come down with the ball. And more laundry on the field.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's in the area of holding again.
Well,
lineman downfield.
Oh, there you go.
Illegal lineman downfield.
Saints fans don't need us to tell you that they were flagged 18 times last week.
They technically were flagged more than that. That was just 18 that were accepted.
True. A couple times on this drive already. First offensive drive of the ball game for Bishop Dwenger. And there's the official call from the line judge. So Springer was trying to hook up with Sioka there. It looked like he was just getting rid of the football, and it's a pretty safe place to throw it if you're going back corner of the end zone to your 6'6" wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they accepted the penalty right there, quite frankly. It would have brought up 3rd and about 12, and instead you give them an extra down to go 2nd and about 17. So,
right.
you know, I mean, you want to push them away from the goal line a little ways, I understand, but now you have to defend them twice.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if that pushed them out of field goal range, but they're still within Belanda's range. So 2nd and 17 for the Saints. Springer hands it off. Teddy Steele makes a man miss through the middle, inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. He picked up about half of the yardage on that play.
Yeah, so they really actually sort of lost that bet because now they're 3rd and 8, it appears. And the Saints have another play here.
We talked about Springer trying to hook up with those wide receivers. Comes into the game connecting on 50% of his throws, 17 for 34. After an efficient game against Wayne, didn't have quite as much luck in week 2. Here he goes on a back shoulder throw, and O'Keefe can't make the turn in time. Going to be 4th down for the Saints.
I actually think that was intended for Sioka on the whip route.
Oh, okay.
It just got beyond. He led Sioka a little too far, and then it ended up at O'Keefe's feet. But I really do think that was intended for Rocco on the whip route on the out there. But
So,
just not accurate.
Yeah. Brings up a 4th and 8. And Joe Belanda is lining up, but first we're going to have a timeout.
We got a personnel issue. It didn't appear that they had the proper personnel on the field, so another one of those situations where they're not clicking on all cylinders right now.
Well, we will step aside shortly as well. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
Hi, sports fan. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maple Crest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their 3rd generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
Back at Jackie Weicker Stadium as the Saints line up for this field goal. Joe Belanda was 2 for 2 last week against the Legends. He'll be kicking this one from the 19-yard line, be a 29-yard attempt.
That's a chip shot normally for Belanda.
Yeah, well within range. Plenty of distance on this one, and it splits the uprights for 3 points.
What a luxury to have a kicker of that magnitude. That would have been good from another 20 yards, it looked like.
Automatic from Belanda. So with 7:49 to go in quarter number 1, the Saints strike first. They lead 3-0. We will take a short timeout here. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions. Welcome back to Southside High School. Saints getting set to kick things away. They lead 3-0 with 7:49 to go in quarter number 1.
I think you got to be happy if you're Southside after that. You give up just 3 points on the Saints' opening offensive possession, and the defense stiffened up when it needed to.
Especially after giving them the football at the 50-yard line. This kick fielded at the 10-yard line. And only up to the 20-yard line on the return, that was Donnie Moore.
And that's 45 Lozado again, who has been just a battering ram on the kickoff team so far. Nice job, Christian Lozado.
So Southside's second offensive possession of the ball game. Quincy English and company trying to get things going here. Of course, he split time last year with Roosevelt Norfleet III. Norfleet transferred to Northrop and had a bit of a homecoming last week as he visited Jack Weicker Stadium as a Northrop Bruin, but unable to get the win.
Did not go his way.
No.
I'm sure that was a little extra motivation for the Archers.
English on the keeper, showcases some quick moves, and he'll fall forward.
Luke Shuckle out there, 37. Looks like he's playing outside linebacker tonight, and nice job. Inside linebacker tonight. Does a nice job there.
Talked about Quincy splitting time last year. Tough to really establish some continuity when you're just switching reps back and forth. but he nevertheless does have that experience coming into this season.
Good-looking athlete, 6'4" tall.
Yep. Inside handoff on second down.
English hands off
To
to
Lattimore.
who takes up the middle.
Good job up front by that defensive line of the Saints. Looked like 64. Ethan Pfluger was in there first. Going to bring up third and about 8. Appears to me that Mitch Vogelweed, number 25 for the Saints, who's been the mainstay at middle backer this year so far, thus far has not been in the lineup. Luke Shuckle replacing him at middle linebacker. So that's an interesting personnel issue we may want to keep an eye on tonight.
It's going to be a 3rd and 7 now for the Archers. English looking to throw, trying to step up in the pocket, makes a couple men miss, and is going to take this one around the left sideline, wrestled down at the 25-yard line. So a gain of 2, but well short of the first down marker.
And the aforementioned Mr. Luke Shuckle in there to corral him over near the Archer sideline.
So 2 possessions for Southside and 2 3-and-outs.
Yeah, going to be tough. Tough sledding all night long against that Saints defense. There's no question about it.
The Archers actually managed 46 points in the first 2 weeks of the season. Corey, that's their most points in weeks 1 and 2 combined since 2005.
Wow.
Ever since they started this current schedule of facing Concordia Northrop weeks 1 and 2, they've never managed more than 27. Hapner does get the punt away in a beautiful punt. O'Keefe juggles it at first, and now he is shifting his way through the field inside Southside territory, but another flag on the field.
3rd penalty thus far for the Saints, and I believe that's going to come back due to a block in the back, I would assume.
Well, O'Keefe so electric in the return game. He had what we called kind of the momentum shifter last week after Northside had gone up 6-0 on the fumble return for a touchdown by Jordan Turner. The Saints come back. O'Keefe answers with a 98-yard kickoff return down to the 1-yard line, and the Saints punched it in on the next play, never looked back.
They absolutely flipped the script on that play. It was probably the play of the night.
40-yard line.
Yeah, and that's saying something. When you score 39 points and the play of the night was a play in which you did not score,
yeah,
that's how impactful that run was by O'Keefe. Also had another punt return in the game for 36 yards. I formation, Bodie Dickerson under center for the Saints.
Oh, that's interesting.
Here comes Teddy Steele again, using that speed all the way through and wrestled down at the 45-yard line of the Archers.
Yeah, just a little bit of a straight-ahead isolation play, and maybe the inaccuracy of one Evan Chrisman is getting, Evan Springer is getting Bodie Dickerson an opportunity to see what he can do in here.
16-yard gain by Steele on first down. Dickerson saw most of the backup action last year as a sophomore. First down play, again, Teddy Steele on the right side and ducking. Oh, big hit suffered there at the 35. Steele pops right up.
Donnie Moore comes in from his safety spot and lowered the boom on Teddy Steele right there. Nice hit, but nearly a first down.
Yeah. Doing his best Adam Lee impression right there.
Yeah, from last week.
Yeah.
To Teddy Steele's credit, he popped right back up, and away we go. 2nd and 1, typically a really good time to air one out.
Yep.
We'll see if they allow Bodie to do that here.
Nope, they're going to hand it off to Steele again. And cuts his way inside to the 30-yard line. Easy pickup of a first down for Bishop Dwenger.
Comfortable with that first down pickup. Saints are going to bring in number 44 now, Sam Troubleware, who's going to move to the fullback spot, kicking KJ Tippmann back to tailback. So going to give Teddy Steele a breather and probably let KJ run the ball here a little bit.
This time they give it to the fullback. Couple yards there.
If I'm KJ, you've got to say, what do I have to do to get the football here? I've been blocking for a series and a half, you kick me back to tailback, which is normally the spot to get the ball, and then you give it to the fullback.
57-yard line will be 2nd and 8 for the Saints.
We'll see if KJ gets the rock here. 2nd and 7. He does. He's going to look to find the left edge, sheds one tackler inside the 20, and now ushered out of bounds with a flag at the end of that run.
Tremendous stiff arm that he gave to that Archer defender there to bounce it outside. And I can only imagine it's probably a face mask of some sort at the end of that play.
Yeah. That's usually the scenario in which you see that call.
Personal foul on the Archers.
There you go. So we've seen Teddy Steele carrying the rock. We've seen KJ Tittman. Aziz Dixon, kind of the third member of that trio. All three of those guys, Corey, through 2 games, have over 80 yards rushing, over 6 yards a carry, and at least 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, just kind of picking up where they left off from a year ago, where it was running back by committee.
Yeah. In fact, it was the Southside game last year in which Bishop Dwenger played 10 different running backs who touched the ball. Had to
That's
look up
the
my
trivia
past
you
notes.
will only get here, folks.
That's right. That no one else but me finds interesting, but that's okay. Dickerson hands it off to KJ, stumbles his way inside the 5. Mark him down at about the 2-yard line.
Really good.
On a stop for the Archers.
Good stop there by Jaden Morris, number 21 for the Archers, to keep the Saints out of the end zone.
The 2nd and about 4 for the Saints.
2nd and goal, Dickerson under center, hands it to KJ, and in between 2 blockers and into the end zone, touchdown Saints.
Yeah, exerted their will on that drive, didn't put it in the air a single time. And, you know, I mean, it's great to be able to do that. I'm a little bit nervous about that as we get to some of the meat of the schedule later on, because, you know, teams are going to pack it in there and stop that or slow it down at least. And the Saints are going to have to be able to have some balance in the offense and put it up in the air a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it's all about the personnel. I mean, it's easier said than done to stop the Saints running game, but sooner or later you will find a team that has the horses up front to do that.
And it could be next week against the Homestead Spartans.
That it could. Belanda boots this one through, and your score with 2:50 to go in the first quarter, Bishop Dwenger 10 and Southside 0. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on BD Media Productions.
St. Anne Communities is a senior living community including a rehabilitation center, memory and dementia care, assisted and residential living, as well as a nursing facility that served the community for over 54 years. While offering a Christ-centered environment that is the only place in Fort Wayne that offers daily mass and sacraments. For more information on employment, senior living, or to make a gift to support the first floor renovation campaign, please visit us at our website or give us a call.
We are back at Jack E. Weicker Stadium. Folks, our first quarter sponsor brought to you by Illumination Solutions Incorporated, a locally owned family business that creates exterior lighting upgrades for homes and businesses throughout Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio. Learn more about this proud Dwenger family-run business by visiting their website, www.illuminationsolutions.com. 10-0 your score as Belanda puts this one through the air. Back to the 5-yard line on the return for the Archers. And again, great special teams coverage by the Saints.
Yeah, I'd go even above that superlative of great. That's outstanding to stop them inside the 15 again with that kickoff coverage. And the special teams obviously were an emphasis coming in here tonight.
Well, Belanda so effective as a weapon, able to hang the ball up in the air. You know, it's impressive when you kick the ball to the 5-yard line and the return only gets to the 14. You know, less than 10 yards on the return. And that's a credit to Belanda, able to hang the ball up in the air, and of course to the Saints defenders on the play as well to fight through the blocks and get to the runner. So here come the Archers, looking for their first down of the ball game. They'll hand it off, and cutting through the middle before a big hit is Anthony Thomas on the carry.
Gavin Groves did not make the tackle on that particular play, but he made the play. He strung that thing out and turned the runner back inside to his teammates to make the stop. And that was an outstanding outside linebacker play from Gavin Groves.
That limits the gain to just 1 yard after Anthony Thomas looked like he might get a little daylight. 2nd and 9 Archers. Here's English. Thomas again, this time trying to run it straight through the middle. Gaining just another yard.
My goodness, just no room there up front. Looked like 78 for the Saints there. That's a number we haven't called much, but that's John Parapi in there, senior, defensive lineman, making the stop and going to force a 3rd and long.
Well, if for no other reason, the Archers would love to get their defense a rest by picking up a 1st down or 2. They're going to spread things out 4 wide for English. Here's a snap. Looking, firing down the sideline, double coverage, and somehow nearly coming in with the ball was Ashton Johnson. Ball knocked out, but a flag.
Really good job of going up with his hands and making that catch rather than trying to catch it against his body. And we've got a defensive pass interference on the play. So that'll be the Archers' first down of the evening.
That's right. That was that's a tough penalty to swallow because you had 2 defenders right there in the vicinity.
There was a lot of contact, though.
Yeah. And a well-placed ball from English.
It really was. That's a great point. Great point. Over his outside shoulder, away from the defenders.
So they'll mark the ball on the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 Archers. 2 wideouts to each side. Here's English. He'll hand it off. Thomas gets the edge, 35-40, and he'll pick up almost an Archer 1st down.
Both inside linebackers for the Saints, Simcox and Shuckle, were there, but didn't take the proper angle to get to the running back. And Anthony Thomas showed some real speed out of the backfield right there.
He is quick.
He's also tough to find.
Yeah.
At 5'5", behind their offensive line, it's tough to find him back there.
2nd and short. Thomas dancing his way around, somehow spins out of a couple tackles before he's driven back at the 40-yard line.
My goodness, I think more than half the Saints defense got a lick on him before he was before they were able to get him down.
Pickup of about a half a yard, so still not a 1st down. Nope, now it is. A late call. They were nearly back to the line before they called a 1st down. But
interesting call. I'm not real sure if he actually did get that. But nonetheless, they've moved the chains at this point.
Inside a minute to go in this opening quarter. English looks to go to the air again. He's got pressure, steps up into the pocket, but will not escape. He is spun down that time.
It's got to be Parapi again.
It is.
Big John Parapi, 78, doing the job inside on the D-line tonight.
5'10" senior making a play, and that's a loss of 3 for the Archers. 29 seconds left in this opening quarter. Bishop Dwenger on top 10-0 over the Archers. 30 seconds, not 30 points.
All right, we're with you.
4 wideouts. English just does get the handoff, and Thomas falls forward for a gain of about 4. Let's check in with Sean McBride.
Sorry, Eric. I was just laughing at you about that whole time thing. I should have had my microphone on mute. So
might have been.
It looks like that's the end of the first quarter here, guys. Saints on top and grinding it out, and the rain still comes down a little bit. Back up to you.
All right, thanks, Sean. That's going to bring us to the end of one quarter. Your score: Bishop Dwenger 10, got it right that time, and Southside 0. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
Many traditions have developed over the years in our hallowed halls that embody the spirit of our humble beginnings, and that makes each and every one of us part of the Dwenger family. This family of dedicated alumni, parents, faculty, staff, and friends have been preparing our young saints for the future, building upon their Catholic faith, expanding their minds, and enriching their hearts. Bishop Dwenger students are educated based on the foundation of 4 pillars: an academic life, a spiritual life, an active life, and a life of service. Focusing on these pillars helps us develop the whole person. We often speak of the Dwenger family, an indescribable sense of community. A focus on tradition and love for our faith create a special and powerful bond for all of our saints. The commitment to Catholic education throughout the generations is also evident in the time, talent, and treasure the community shares with our school. We are so blessed by the generosity of the Dwenger family, who are loyal to our school in its effort to cultivate citizens of 2 worlds.
Southside facing a 3rd and 8. 4 wideouts for Quincy English and a flag before the snap.
We've got some movement up front there, Eric.
Yep. We just heard an updated score. Bishop Lures and Homestead tied up at 14 apiece. Without a doubt, the game of the night.
Yeah.
Both teams 2-0 and jockeying for early positioning atop the SAC.
Yeah, if not for Center Grove against Carmel in Indianapolis tonight, that would probably be the game of the night in the state, maybe.
Not often you say that when a 2A and a 6A meet up.
That's very true. Lures with a 6A victory already under their belt thus far this year.
Impressive stuff. That game happening out in the 04. We'll try to keep you folks updated on that one throughout the night. 3rd and long. English escapes, and he's got some room to run across the 50, 45, 40, and ducks out of bounds.
Elusive, really nice run by Quincy English right there. Bounced out of the pocket, was able to regain his composure, find a running lane, and pick up that first down for the Archers. That's outstanding play.
A 22-yard pickup on the scamper by Quincy English.
I think the Saints thought they had him.
Yeah.
I think they thought they had him down in the backfield, and he scored it out of there. Nicely done.
Well, once he did, he had nothing but green in front of him. So the Archers already with their most promising drive of the game, and they're now into Bishop Dwenger territory. Here's Thomas on the carry, straight through the gut, and the Saints not letting him get anywhere after a gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, just a gain of a yard, but I will say there is a little bit of push there by the offensive line. They are generating a little bit of push against that Dwenger D-line. So, I'm sure Coach Lee is looking for some positive things that he can build on. And when he sees that on film tomorrow morning, he's going to say, hey, we generated a little bit of push up front.
That's right. So 2nd and 9. And the Archers have stayed in that 4-receiver set ever since it started working for him. This time, Gavin Groves chasing down English. He's just going to get rid of the ball before he is absolutely buried.
Cole Carey came in from that outside linebacker spot and just basically took his legs out.
Yeah.
They're going to call a penalty
of
some sort on that. We're going to get a roughing, I think. Yep, we're going to get a roughing. No, we're getting a intentional grounding. No receivers in the vicinity. All right, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, I was going to say that looked perfectly legal to me.
Yeah, it was going to be. I was going to have a tough time with the roughing call. That's if that would have been roughing, I'd have thought we were announcing an NFL game. The way they protect the quarterbacks in that league.
Ouch. Well, let's go down to Sean McBride.
Yeah, I got to tell you, walk off this penalty. I got to tell you, I'm down here by the 30, standing next to Father Hammer, and he was closer to the ball midway through the track than any receiver. He almost got it. Good hands, but just not enough. Back up to you.
Outstanding effort, Father.
Good hands by Father. We are in good hands. thanks to our parish priests.
Also, he lost it
The
down.
newly ordained
Third down for
Father
the
Michael
Archers.
Ammer, one of the 2 co-chaplains for this Bishop Dwenger team, along with
Third and
the
24.
aforementioned Father David Hunick. So it is going to be 3rd and long, 29 yards the Archers need for a first down here. They've got to get all the way down to the Bishop Dwenger 30-yard line. We'll see what English has up his sleeves here. Quick hitter over the middle, and it is dropped. Looking for Ashton Johnson.
English's pass goes
I really like the play call, the fake and on the running back to the running back and trying to hit that seam route. But even if they would have completed it, it would have come back because, believe it or not, in the split second it took him to get rid of that, they found a hold down there.
Wow. Good eye by the refs, right?
Yeah. The Saints will decline that, and we'll have a punting situation for the Archers.
Ball in the Archer 46-yard line.
So Henry O'Keefe is going to go back to get this one.
Henry O'Keefe.
10:57 to go in quarter number 2. Saints on top 10-0. Bishop Dwenger has gone field goal touchdown on their first 2 offensive drives of the football game. And Mr. Do-It-All, Trevor Hapner, back to punt this one away. Another nice punt. O'Keefe travels and catches it on the run at the 22-yard line. Now trying to reverse field, making a couple men miss. And now inside yet again, he's still on the run across the 50, 45, 40, and spun down there inside the 40-yard line. Outstanding effort by O'Keefe.
He went clear across the field on that. I was a little nervous when he first caught it. He was running so hard to get to it, his arms were flailing, and I almost thought that he was calling for a fair catch back there. I think that could have been interpreted that way, but it was not, thankfully. And O'Keefe takes it fairly deep into Archer territory. Springer back in at quarterback.
Yep.
Must have been a scripted series for Dickerson last time around. Get him a little experience in there.
And O'Keefe gets a breather. Carter Minix in as the other wide receiver along with Sioka. Springer hands it off. Teddy Steele around the right side, inside the 30, 25, 20, down the sideline, and is just barely taken out before he can get all the way to the end zone. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 14.
I think they ran the split zone again, and lots of real estate there for Mr. Steele.
Steele brings it down to the Archer 13-yard line where Saints will have it 1st and 10.
And looks like a timeout taken by the Archers
Timeout on the field
as they try to stop the Saints, keep them out of the end zone. We'll step aside, folks. You are watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
Evans Toyota is locally owned and proudly supports Bishop Dwenger. Let's go Saints!
We are back at Archer Field here at Jack E. Weicker Stadium. Our second quarter sponsor tonight, Evans Toyota, located at the corner of Lima and Coliseum and online at evanstoyota.com. Evans Toyota is a proud supporter of the SAC and Bishop Dwenger High School. See Chad Vogelweed for a Toyotally excellent buying experience. So the Saints on the move, and it's come on the legs of Teddy Steele, and a spectacular punt return by Henry O'Keefe. Just really impressed at his ability to stop on a dime, change direction, and just uses shiftiness to make people miss.
And his ability to accelerate from zero to full speed in the in a millisecond is the amazing part for me.
Springer under center on 1st and 10. It's going to be Teddy Steele, and he's going to fall forward for a gain inside the 10-yard line.
Just a little straight ahead run for the Saints. Looks like they're just going to try to power this into the end zone and go up 17-0. 10:15 left in the second quarter, and the Saints are still yet to have completed a pass.
Yeah. I formation for Springer. And handoff to KJ Tippmann. He's going to walk into the end zone for a Bishop Dwenger touchdown.
Went with an I formation run and a give to the fullback, which they have not done out of that formation this evening, and caught the Archers by surprise, and KJ was virtually able to walk in.
So at the 9:58 mark here in the second quarter, the Saints strike again, running at will on this possession. Lining up for the PAT. And it's going to be a two-point attempt. KJ Tippmann diving for the line, and he just does get in. Boy, Corey, I was about to say that they attempted that two-point conversion a couple times last week. One of them, courtesy of a penalty, put the ball on the 1 yard line. Their offense lined up, but I think that's the first time they successfully converted that. What do you call that play?
That's called the swinging gate.
The swinging gate.
Yeah, the swinging gate, a very old school football play. And, you know, primarily I think you use it more than anything else. Obviously you're trying to score, but it also gives the opponent in future weeks just another item that they have to prepare for.
Yeah. Yep, it's one of those misdirection plays that the Saints employ. I think it's kind of a numbers game. If there's a certain lineup by the defense,
that's exactly right,
where they feel like they have a favorable lineup, they'll make an attempt at it. Yep. Let's check in with Sean McBride on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, this swinging gate was made popular by one Ernie Božred. You guys keep talking about old guys, and I'm wondering, how old do you think I am is the question. But, you know, Ernie brought that to the program, obviously was very successful with it. They stayed with it, and you're exactly right. It's just another opportunity to give the defense something to prepare for. But when you look ahead, could that one extra point make a difference? And in many games, it could. Back up to you.
Yep, great point. And Sean, I would advise you not to ask questions that you don't want to hear the answer to. We'll leave it at that. I had to get you back for laughing at me, okay? Saints to kick things away. Here's Belanda. Another high kick. And this one is going to die right at the 4 yard line. Return up to about the 18 yard line.
That thing had more spin on it than a Stats Thompson sandwich back there at the 5 yard line. That was nicely done. Nicely done by Belanda. I thought for sure that was going to bounce into the end zone, and it just spun and stopped.
Actually, a heck of a job on the return to get up to the 18 yard line.
Absolutely.
But still, yet another Archer drive starting inside their own 20. Here comes English, was able to get things moving last possession with his arms and legs. Unfortunately for Southside, netting 0 points. So 18-0 is your score in early second quarter action. English with 2 receivers, now man in motion behind him. They'll hand it off straight through the middle. That's Jalen Lattimore, gained about 1 yard.
And just a straight ahead run, trying to exert their will up front a little bit. That's tough sledding against that Saints defense.
Yeah.
Also on the tackle for the Saints, number 55, Joe Arndt.
Second and long, Archers.
Second and 9.
Well, I mentioned earlier that a sustained drive would do well in keeping the Archer defense off the field. They had a nice drive, and then Bishop Dwenger was still able to run right through that defense. English fakes the handoff, now fakes the pitch, and goes right through the middle, spinning his way, and looked like the ball came out at the end. The officials do mark him down.
Yeah, even when they have a play that looks like it's you know, got some promise to make some yardage. It's just amazing how quickly that hole fills by that Saints defense.
Right.
We'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Archers. Ball resting on their 21-yard
Aziz
line.
Dixon onto the field for this play.
Yeah, they're putting the pass rush unit in. They got Jack Tippmann at one defensive tackle and Aziz Dixon at the other to bring some speed off the edge.
Four wideouts for the Archers. And here's the snap to English. Looking to throw. There comes Jack Tippmann, and somehow English spins out of it and fires it across the middle. Might be just enough for an Archer first down.
An outstanding job by Quincy English to spin out of that Jack Tippmann hole. I can only wonder if Jack has trouble corralling him because of that big cast on his hand.
Yeah.
If he had two normal paws there, would he be able to have grabbed him and pulled him to the turf? We may never know.
Well, not many quarterbacks find themselves in a Jack Tippmann bear hug and live to tell the tale.
No kidding.
Here's a jet sweep for the Archers on first down, and the Saints defense is there to snuff it out.
Narvis Thompson on the jet sweep there, 5'5", 155-pound senior for the Archers, but just not normally going to gain much yardage running east and west against the Saints defense. They fly to the football so well, and that defense is predicated upon speed.
So it's going to go down as a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 for the Archers. Southside able to get across midfield in Dwenger territory last time before the drive stalled. This time inside handoff goes nowhere.
Lattimore on the carry, their power back. Yeah, picks up barely one, it appears.
Yeah, Lattimore and Hapner, just two defensive studs for this team. Of course, Lattimore playing running back as well. And you get the feeling if they were on a different team in this city, they would get a lot more pub. Very talented defenders.
No question, both of them.
So 3rd and long, 10 yards. Here's English looking to throw. Got some pressure, escapes out to the left again, once again eluding the Dwenger defense, and this time running out of bounds close to the marker. They'll mark him about the 36, who's going to be 4 yards short.
Really nice job of escaping there, dare I say, using a little body English to work his way off the left-hand edge. That was a tough one, I know.
Yeah, that's tough to swallow. At least you didn't ask what his favorite subject in school was. 4th and 4, and it looks like the Archers are going to punt this one away. We'll see what Henry O'Keefe has in store on this return. He'd love to get another chance to take this one. It's the only dangerous thing about a good punt is giving O'Keefe more room to operate. This one's going to be a little shorter, bouncing towards O'Keefe, but not enough room for him to make a return at it, and the Saints will start their drive at the 33.
Good punt for the Archers. Decent yardage and no return. That's a win-win for them.
That it is. So the Saints offense back out on the field, 6:04 to go before the halftime break. And Bodie Dickerson back. You know, we're seeing alternating possessions here for the Bishop Dwenger signal callers.
Bodie yet to even attempt a throw. Springer is 0 for 2 in the passing game.
Yep, that is a big box that is yet to be checked. We talked about in this game.
For this team this season, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Dickerson
Bodie
fires to the sideline. He's got Sioka, and he is spun out of bounds after a gain of about 6 yards.
Our first completed pass of the evening, and that's a bullet out wide from Dickerson. That's a really nice throw. He didn't hesitate. Ball came out on time. I liked everything I saw about that.
Yeah.
Ball on the Saints 38-yard line.
2nd and 4 for the Saints. Dickerson under center this time, hands it off. And a nice diving effort at the end of that one.
Sam Trebleware, the fullback in on that play, picks up the first down.
Yeah, he was stopped for a short gain and then dove forward for a majority of those yards.
We've got an injury timeout, it appears.
Yep. Southside player down on the field. Medical staff out to tend to him, and we will step aside as they do so. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
You know, there's three kinds of people in this world: those that get the numbers and those that don't. If you need professional help when it comes to the numbers, whether it's payroll, accounting, or professional or personal taxes, come see the experts at Management and Tax Services. Proud to be Dwenger supporters for over 60 years.
You see them everywhere. That Preferred Auto bumper sticker. All makes and models. You ever wonder why? It's simple. We've worked hard over the last 30 plus years to earn your trust.
And with all the unknowns right now in the auto industry, we're still confident in one thing. With over $6 million in inventory, I'm sure we have the perfect vehicle for you.
So stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see what sets us apart from the rest.
Preferred Auto.
Back at Jack Weicker Stadium, the injured Archer on the play, Jermaine Freeman, able to walk off under his own power. Good sign there for Southside.
Saints trying to get some tempo going in this drive, a little no-huddle action. You got a 18-0 lead. Now would be a really good time to see what they can do in the passing game.
Well, they're going to go trips to the near side of the field, so we will see if they go to the air for a second time with Dickerson. Looking to throw, quick pass to Sioka, catches it, looking for some blockers, and powers his way to the midfield stripe, and a flag on the field.
Got a great tackle from number 7 of the Archers, Donnie Moore, and I think we may have a blocking or a holding penalty, I should say, on the edge on Carter Minix there, 24. But the Archers have another player down on the field as well.
That they do. He's trying to get up right now. Number 30, who unfortunately is not on our roster. And he's going to be able to limp off to the sideline under his own power. So the referees are talking this one. Still no official signal on that flag.
Yeah, I think we had a little hold on the edge. Oftentimes you'll have that from a receiver blocking out in front of another receiver on a quick screen like that.
But you have to, like, as you said, a couple quick hitters here trying to get that connection going between the quarterback and Rocco Sioka. I would say by every estimation, he is their best big play receiver, and if they can get him going, that's going to bode quite well down the stretch of this season.
No doubt about it, but not just him. I mean, you've got O'Keefe. We've talked about him in the kicking game last week and this week.
Yeah.
And you've got the Minix, Carter Minix, sophomore, very looking for big things out of him, a lot of potential. You've got Sam Campbell, who last year was a big-time threat for them at receiver, playing mostly defensive back this year. You've got Jack Tippmann at tight end. This team has a tremendous number of offensive receiving weapons, and they've got to find the guy to get them the ball.
Yeah. Not to mention KJ Tippmann out of the backfield, excellent receiver. So we're going to have looks like two penalties on the play, one against each team. Shot block on the Saints. The Archers have a personal foul called against them, so I believe we'll have offsetting penalties replay the down.
Well, I think one is you walk one off. You said personal foul against the Archers?
That's what it looked like.
It doesn't look like they're walking that one off. So
No.
I don't. 2 fouls on the play. Chalk block on the Saints. Holding also on the Saints.
Okay.
So 2 penalties on the same play for the Saints.
So initially he called the holding, or he called one of those on the Archers, but he meant to call both on the Saints.
We had 18 penalties a week ago on the Saints, but we did not have 2 penalties on one play.
Oh. There you go. And one of those, of course, will go down as another penalty that will be declined. So the one accepted is going to push the Saints back to a 1st and 23 situation. And now here's another flag.
Flag on the field.
Procedure penalty against the Saints, most likely.
Absolutely. Looked like, oh, maybe not. We have an offside. Oh, no. On the Saints. Offsides on the Saints. Normally called a procedure penalty on the offense, but it looked like Rocco Sioka may have flinched on the edge out here prior to the snap. They probably called a pass play. He was so excited that they finally called one.
Yeah.
That he flinched a little bit.
That pushes it back to a 1st and 28. Well, good time to go to the air, right? Here's Dickerson. Fires it over the middle. He's got O'Keefe, and it's caught at the midfield stripe. He's in a foot race. He's got a blocker down inside the 20. 15 makes a man miss, and Henry O'Keefe is going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
Great throw from Bodie Dickerson.
Wow.
Outstanding. Where's that been all season?
Great. It's been on the bench most of the season.
It really has been. And that's a great throw from Bodie. Hit him right in stride, just over his shoulder, and gave the speedy O'Keefe an opportunity to do something after the catch with the football.
And he is so good at doing just that. Able to cut outside, cut back inside, had a blocker there to help him get into the end zone.
I couldn't decide if Rocco was helping or hurting. He was trying to run interference there a little bit and almost got in O'Keefe's way.
Well, if anything, it might have confused the defender enough
I think so.
Get him out of the way. Belanda kicks this one through, and your score, 25-0. The Saints on top with 5:02 left in the second quarter. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
Tippmann Group is a family-owned business that's proud to call Fort Wayne home. We build cold storage facilities all around the United States, run one of the largest cold storage companies in the nation, and lease office space in Fort Wayne, like inside the Lincoln Tower.
Hi, I'm John Tippmann, president of Tippmann Group, and our family has been part of the Bishop Dwenger family for many years. We are a proud supporter of Dwenger Athletics. Go Saints!
Welcome back to Archer Field. Henry O'Keefe striking on a long pass play from Bodie Dickerson, and a beautifully thrown ball. You said it, Corey. It even looked like Dickerson looked off. He was able to, I don't know if he was working his way through progressions or just looking off the defense, but initially he looked to the near sideline before firing that one down the middle of the field.
I really like that. Really liked that from the standpoint of just understanding the situation. He looked the safety over to the left-hand side and then threw it right back in behind him to a wide-open O'Keefe, who had a couple of steps on the defender. So great offensive play out of the quarterback, Bodie Dickerson.
Here's the return from the 10-yard line. And falling his way up to the 25 on the return is Jaden Morris. And I believe this is the best starting field position for the Archers at their own 25.
Wow.
Archers will put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
Let's check in with Sean McBride on the sideline.
Hey, guys, just a note to our watchers. Coming up during halftime, we've got a very special interview planned with Father Michael Ammer, new co-chaplain at Bishop Dwenger High School. We're going to find out a little bit more about him and his vocation coming up in just under 5 minutes or so during the halftime break. Back up to you.
All right. Thank you, Sean. So the Archers offense back on the field. It's going to be a 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, they desperately need something positive to happen in this offensive series.
Going to fake a handoff for English, drops back. He's got some pressure once again, sidestepping the defenders, and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage, which is, in fact, a minor miracle on that play.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, that was some really good dancing in the pocket there for him to just avoid the sack 5 to 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So great job by English. He's just looking for a little bit of time to find a receiver back there and hasn't had much so far. Now, again, remember 4 offensive linemen out quarantined, so that may be part of the problem here.
Well said. 2nd and 9. English actually gained a yard on that play. Another 4-receiver set. Looking to throw. Fires near sideline, and it sails over the head of the intended receiver. He was looking for Ashton Johnson.
Yeah, and that's an overthrow, but it's really almost a sack because he threw that before he wanted to, and was unable to set his feet to do it. So I call that a rush sack, really, because great job by the Saints front 7 in getting to him and knocking him off his spot and forcing him to throw before he really wanted to.
Well, head coach Guy Lee for the Archers, as we said, earned his first varsity win as a varsity head coach last week. More on him in a second. Here's English looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He is looking for the sideline. And again, able to pick up some positive yards, not quite enough to get to the marker.
Gavin Groves came off the edge from his outside linebacker position there and on the rush, and Jalen Lattimore did not really make much of an effort to try to get in his way. I'm not sure he wanted any part of Gavin Groves on the rush right there, but English was able to sneak out of there and not get sacked at least.
It's going to bring up a 4th and a long 4 punting situation for Trevor Hapner.
Kicking for the Archers, Trevor Hapner.
Still shifting people around. 3:55 to go in this first half. Here's a snap. Hapner just does get it away. And it's going to bounce, take an Archer bounce, and it's actually stopped by one of the down linemen, much to the chagrin of the Archer faithful.
Well, when you wear number 73, you don't get to touch the ball very often, so you take that opportunity to snag it.
That's right. Let's check in with Sean McBride once again.
You guys. Score update from across town out in the 04. Bishop Dwenger 28. Homestead 21.
Bringing the same time for the 16.
Back up to you.
Wow.
Awesome.
How about it?
Well, we mentioned the marquee matchup of the night. Bishop Luers with so many offensive weapons at the disposal of Carson Clark. The question was, could they do it against legitimate defense? And we might be getting an answer tonight.
Oh, my goodness. Clark came into the night with nearly 600 yards passing in just 2 games.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's adding to that total tonight.
Springer back at quarterback. He's going to sling this one to KJ Tittman out of the backfield, and he's got a nice head of steam down the far sideline, picking up a Bishop Dwenger first down.
It's a nice throw. Much better job on that swing route than we saw a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, I should say, against where they were throwing a lot of laterals backwards. I think they've got the timing down on that a little better now.
Again, hurry-up offense employed by the Saints here. Springer, this time handoffs to KJ Tittman, dancing his way through the middle, across the 40-yard line, 35-30, and in between the defenders all the way down to the 15-yard line.
He was just swatting defenders away with stiff arms as he ran down through there. Big-time play for KJ Tittman.
And the Saints' onslaught continues in this second quarter. 2 touchdowns already, looking to add to it here with 3:17 to go before the half. 4 wideouts on the field for Springer. 3 to the near side of the field. Looks in that direction, goes back up top, looking for his man, and Rocco Sioka fell down there as he was trying to make his cut towards the pylon.
Yeah, just a little bit too far outside, though, for that particular play. You want to throw that over his outside shoulder unless it's a back shoulder throw, and you still want to throw it a little closer to the receiver than that. That's just not close enough for him to make a play.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Saints. So Bishop Dwenger has been opening up the passing game a bit more on these last 2 drives. The last one by Bodie Dickerson and this one by Evan Springer. Looking in that direction, and Springer goes down. Big hit in the backfield and a sack for the Archers.
That's number 3, Ashton Johnson in there. Beautiful job. He actually really ran over left tackle Tommy Whitty there for the Saints and took him right into the backfield. You don't have that doesn't happen to a Saints offensive lineman very often.
Springer did a nice job of holding onto the football on that play. That time the Saints trying to get the Archers to jump early, but actually one of their own players jumped instead.
They're going to back it up 5 more, 3rd and about 20.
Illegal procedure called on the Saints, moving it back to the Archer 25-yard line.
So Corey, you know the old adage, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have any quarterbacks. This seems like a designed back and forth alternating of possessions between Springer and Dickerson. How do you like it?
I don't care at all for using 2, quite frankly, because I don't think one ever gets in a rhythm.
Right.
As a former quarterback myself, there's nothing I liked less than that, to be quite frank. But we've got a position battle going on right here, and I think what they're trying to do in this instance is give each of them an opportunity to try to earn the job right now.
Right. Well, they came into the season with Evan Springer clearly the man. He had won the quarterback competition, and it looked like maybe that performance against the Legends last week put enough of a doubt in the coaching staff mind that they thought Bodie Dickerson deserved a shot as well.
Yeah, obviously we're not at practice on a daily basis. Bodie must have done something in practice to gain some attention and get an opportunity out there. And what a rare sight that is to see a Joe Belanda miss.
Yeah, goes just wide left on it, attempting a 42-yarder and had plenty of leg on it, but a misfire. So the score remains 25-0, Saints on top with 2:01 left in the first half. Yeah, you also wonder when you have the back and forth quarterback game, these guys are kids. You also have the head games going on. Does the coach have confidence in me? Does he not? It's something you might not want to put that extra pressure on a kid if you don't need to.
It's a great point that you bring up, and one that's often overlooked by coaches who have never played that position.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the only way you can effectively coach that position is actually having played it.
So the Archers take over. New man in at quarterback as he zings it across the middle. Falls incomplete right through the receiver's hands. That is Lorenz Tabron on the throw.
Interesting that they would go to another quarterback here. I don't know whether Quincy might be banged up.
Yeah, actually don't even see Quincy on the sideline.
Nor do I. So, yeah, hopefully that young man's all right.
Yeah. So Tabron, the junior signal caller, 6 foot 230. Had that one right in the breadbasket of the receiver on first down. 2nd and 10. Flushed out of the pocket, trying to get rid of this football and trying to buy some time. Barely does get rid of that one. Had a man open. And a nice Houdini act just to get rid of that ball.
Did his best Quincy English impression there and avoided a couple of sacks to get that ball off. Nicely done there by 17, Lorenz Tabron.
I'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Archers. Ball resting on their own 20-yard line.
Third and long for Southside. 1:47 to go. So if the Saints defense can hold them on this play, you'll get one last drive and kind of a 2-minute drill. Good practice situation for, we assume, Bodie Dickerson.
Yeah, be interesting to see him operate in that situation here.
First, they've got to get the stop. Tabron, he is flushed, and he will not escape the Saints.
Brown is brought down back in the backfield.
Big time play. A couple Saints in on that one. Looked like Jack Tittman
Brought down by a host of tacklers led by number
among many.
Yeah, the Southside offensive line just kind of disintegrated there with that rush from the Saints. They got to the quarterback in a hurry, and he really had no chance to get that ball off.
That's probably the best word for it. Jack Tittman came into the night with 3 sacks, tied for second most in the area. And he was in on that play as well. Got a timeout on the field, and we will step aside as well. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
Can First Source help me get more space?
We can help with that.
Does First Source have banking that can keep up with me?
This is open around the clock.
Business is booming. Can you help me expand?
No problem.
Can First Source help me turn this into my own business?
We're here for you. No matter what kind of banking you need, First Source Bank can help.
Back at Jack Weicker Stadium, 1:42 on the clock, and a punting situation for the Archers with 4th and 18. Looks like Carter Minix is going to get punt return duties for the Saints. Be good to get him another touch.
Absolutely. He's electric as well, and a very highly regarded sophomore for the Saints that they're expecting us to be calling his name quite often over the next 3 years.
And Saints should be getting spectacular field position out of this drive. Hapner standing on his own end zone, right on the end line. We've already seen the Saints special teams block a couple punts. Here comes the pressure. They do get the punt away. High kick, and it's going to bounce at about the 32. Again, take another Archer bounce across the 40 to the 41-yard line. All things considered, could have been much worse for Southside.
Say, not bad under the circumstances, right?
So minute 30, and Bodie Dickerson in at quarterback.
Yeah, it's a nice opportunity for the Saints signal caller, Bodie Dickerson, to command this varsity offense in a 2-minute drill situation and show that he's got the moxie to handle this.
Yeah, Evan Springer may look the part a bit more, kind of a bigger frame. Bodie Dickerson, a little slighter build. But the way he has thrown the football in these last couple drives has been impressive. Here, a quick swing to KJ Tittman. A lot of room to run. Down the sideline, across the 30, 25-20, inside the 10, and he's going to walk all the way into the end zone. We do have a flag on the field. We'll have to check it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's coming back. Some sort of block or hold in the middle of the field from one of the Saints receivers. A hold in the middle of the field.
Wipes out a great individual effort there by KJ Tittman. Of course, had some nice blocks down the sideline as well. But Tittman showing some nice high-end north-south speed on that play.
And bounced off a few defenders, which was impressive as well. There are very few people in the SAC that I think that want any part of trying to tackle KJ Tittman.
Well, that's partly because KJ would rather tackle them.
Yeah, no question about that.
So they're going to have to
look. Penalty moves it back to the Archer.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the penalty yardage there.
33-yard line.
So the penalty was assessed, but because of the gain on the play, we'll see what they do with it.
That's 8 first-half penalties. accepted against the Saints tonight, which is one below last week's average.
There's still time, Corey. Still got a minute 19 to go. So they're going to get a measurement here.
Well, that, quite frankly, that is the type of penalty in the middle of the field, not 25 to 30 yards away from where the ball carrier was, that you just simply can't have.
Yeah.
I mean, it had no impact whatsoever on the play. You can't hold in there.
Now the first 10 inches for the Saints.
Yep, cost the Saints 6 points on that play. And, we talked a lot last season about that. Little mistakes that you eventually wonder if there's going to come a game and a scenario in which it's going to cost the Saints. And, of course, that did happen at the Zionsville game in regionals. So a 1st and inches for the Saints after the penalty yardage. Saints are going to go 3 wide outs to the top of your screen. And here's Bodie Dickerson. Going to roll, fire across the field, has Carter Minix open, and steps out of bounds after picking up a first down.
Really nice throw, on time. Hit him in stride on that flat route, got out of bounds to stop the clock. So a lot to like about that play.
Let's quickly check in with Sean McBride.
Real fast, guys. Just another update from the other side of town. Bishop Luers 35, Homestead 21.
Okay.
Back at you.
Wow. Here we go on a first down play. Dickerson, pass is caught. And that's going to be Sioka.
Clock is still moving, so I like this for the Saints. I like to see this gives them a great opportunity, up 25-0. The clock ticking down. Let's see what the 2-minute drill looks like.
Right. All the time in the world. Here's a handoff to KJ Tittman, picking and choosing his way. And he's going to go down to about the 15-yard line, close to another Bishop Dwenger first down.
They're going to blow it dead, potentially look to see if it's a first down or not.
And it is.
It is, so it'll stop the clock to move the chains.
That'll be a first down for the Saints. 1st and 10 from the Archer.
44 seconds left on the clock. Now the clock winds. Now we're down to 40 seconds. 4 wideouts for Dickerson. Got some time, steps up in the pocket, is going to tuck it and run this time. Able to elude one defender across the sideline and steps out of bounds inside the 5.
Great decision and ability to, that's something probably that Evan Springer can't bring to the table, is that elusive ability to get out of the pocket and make something happen positively with a run. So that's athleticism that Bodie has that maybe Evan might lack.
Yep, Springer has so far been more of the pocket passer and standing strong in the pocket. So Dickerson able to move the chains and set up the Saints with a 1st and goal. 29 seconds to go, so all sorts of options.
Campbell under center. And
there's a flag on the field.
Well,
illegal substitution. Illegal substitution.
Well, we'll see. Did they?
That penalty goes against the Saints.
They didn't
Here's
have.
We had 12 players on the field in that power I formation, which is the last thing you want to do when you're inside the 5-yard line.
So 1st and goal from the 8. Now clock is moving. 23 seconds. Power I for the Saints. They'll hand it off, and a burst of seam through the middle gets Aziz Dixon into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
Yeah, that was too easy with that little blast play off the left-hand side out of the power I, and went in virtually untouched.
So all 3 of the Saints feature running backs have found the end zone tonight. And it's 31-0 Bishop Dwenger with 17 seconds left in the second quarter.
Snapping Simon Garrett, holding Max Robinson, and kicking Joe Belanda.
Here is the kick from Belanda. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 17 seconds left, 32-0, Bishop Dwenger on top. Boy, how about those Bishop Luers Knights, Corey?
No kidding. 35-21. And, yeah, I mean, that's still is that still the first half, or is that halftime finally?
Not sure on the time there.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what, either way, 7 touchdowns in the first half against the Homestead defense. It appears that the Luers Knights offense is maybe even more for real than we thought.
Well,
I mean, to beat 6A Carroll and now have a 35-21 lead on 6A Homestead.
Yeah.
How's anybody in 2A going to compete with them?
Well, we've talked about that. The biggest challenge might come in their own sectional against Eastside, but
I've seen Eastside cover the pass a little bit last week against a team that always runs it in Adams Central, and they struggled. So I don't know how they're going to defend the Luers passing game.
It's a great question. Well, you know, Bishop Luers, one of 3 undefeated teams in the SAC coming into tonight. So a lot of people, I think, we're looking at that Bishop Dwenger Homestead game next week as a potential matchup of 3-0 undefeated teams. But Bishop Luers is going to have a thing or two to say about that.
Absolutely.
Belanda kicks this one away. Low kick, bouncing and being fielded inside the 5. Trying to escape the rush there, able to cut in between a couple defenders up across the 25-yard line.
Don't want to get ahead of myself, looking way ahead to week 7 in the Battle of the Bishops, but we haven't had a meaningful Battle of the Bishops game since 2010.
Wow.
Back then when Ramon Wright and Tony Springman, Patrick Ryan led the Saints into Luers Field and walked away with the SAC title that night. I long for the Battle of the Bishops to be meaningful.
Corey Kitchen with the stat. So you could make the argument that the 2015 game in week 1 was meaningful.
Well,
but you know, with week 1, it's not going to decide the SAC.
That's exactly right. That 2010 game down at Luers Field felt more like a rock concert than a football game. It was nuts.
But as you said, not to get ahead of ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
Although that's what we do here. Running play on first down, flag on the field. We have zeros on the clock, but we'll check the penalty. I think either side might decline this and just head into the locker room.
Exactly right. A hold on the Archers. The Saints will decline. We're looking at halftime.
And that is the call on the field. So your halftime score here at Archer Field, Saints 32 and Archers 0. We'll step aside, be back with our halftime presentation. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
I want to remind you, restrooms at both ends of the stadium. Also remind you,
Evans Toyota is locally owned and proudly supports Bishop Dwenger. Let's go Saints!
You know, there's 3 kinds of people in this world. Those that get the numbers and those that don't. If you need professional help when it comes to the numbers, whether it's payroll, accounting, or professional or personal taxes, come see the experts at Management and Tax Services. Proud to be Dwenger supporters for over 60 years.
You see them everywhere. That preferred auto bumper sticker. All makes and models. You ever wonder why? It's simple. We've worked hard over the last 30 plus years to earn your trust.
And with all the unknowns right now in the auto industry, we're still confident in one thing. With over $6 million in inventory, I'm sure we have the perfect vehicle for you.
So stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see what sets us apart from the rest.
Preferred Auto.
St. Anne Communities is a senior living community including a rehabilitation center, memory and dementia care, assisted and residential living, as well as a nursing facility that served the community for over 54 years. While offering a Christ-centered environment that is the only place in Fort Wayne that offers daily mass and sacraments. For more information on employment, senior living, or to make a gift to support the first floor renovation campaign, please visit us at our website or give us a call.
Hi, sports fans. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maplecrest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their 3rd generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
Tippmann Group is a family-owned business that's proud to call Fort Wayne home. We build cold storage facilities all around the United States, run one of the largest cold storage companies in the nation, and lease office space in Fort Wayne, like inside the Lincoln Tower.
Hi, I'm John Tippmann, president of Tippmann Group, and our family has been part of the Bishop Dwenger family for many years. We are a proud supporter of Dwenger Athletics. Go Saints!
Welcome back to Jack Weicker Stadium, Archer Field, Southside, and it is 32-0, your halftime score, as the Bishop Dwenger Saints are on top of the home Archers. We welcome you to our halftime show. Our halftime sponsor tonight, First Source Bank. Are you ready to take a big step forward in life and set up your own bank account? First Source Bank has the perfect option for students. Our e-student accounts are simple to start, and they're designed to help you begin your financial journey. Check it out at firstsource.com. That's 1stsource.com. With that, we'd like to send things down to Sean on the sideline for a special halftime interview. Sean, take it away.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. We're happy to be joined down here on the sidelines tonight with Father Michael Hammer. Father Michael is the parochial vicar at St. Jude's Parish in Fort Wayne, as well as the co-chaplain at Bishop. Thanks very much for being with us tonight. Hope you're enjoying the game.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. Now, you will do.
Yep. Somewhat. We're good. I've heard pretty fantastic, like very like honeymoon stage for a while, but I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't have quite one of those kind of get right to work and and had to fair share of pastoral opportunities to be like really good field, but it's been very good so far. Yeah, good.
Right? Well, Father Michael, tell us a little bit about it. I know we were talking during the break. You're a New Haven kid, is that right?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So went through St. John's, New Haven, went through New Haven High School, even remained local for college, went to IPFW, ended up getting my undergrad in physics before God kind of pulled me away to go to seminary. So really, I never really left Indiana or had much exposure to the East Coast until being sent out to Maryland seminary.
Right.
So it's been,
but you're glad to be back home, right?
I'm very glad to be back home. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. All the seminarians are back at school right now in Maryland. I texted a few of them the other day. I'm like, have a good first day of school. And I like but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to finally be done with school.
Absolutely. Well, good stuff. Now, Father, I have to say, and I rarely ever do this, but you're looking really ridiculous tonight. You and Father Dave both. You're wearing these flannel shirts with cutouts for the arms, and I know there's got to be a story behind this, right?
Yeah. So, well, I guess each game, each Friday, there's a different theme, and the theme this week is country. And I guess something I just had in my wardrobe was this flannel that I ended up cutting the sleeves off, and it's something that it served me well over the years of giving different presentations, giving different opportunities. It always comes in handy having a cut-off flannel.
So you didn't make it just for this week's speech.
No. I had it. I had it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Good stuff. Tell me a little bit about the short time you've had so far at Bishop Dwenger and how you feel about it.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. It's definitely a lot to take in because they just kind of throw you in the deep end. There's not a whole lot of startup. There's not a whole lot of apprenticeship. It's kind of just you just go right into it. It's been good. One thing that was kind of a bit of an adjustment was not really been given the summer because most chaplains, they're given the summer to kind of get to know the school a little bit. But Bishop decided to kind of pull Father Jay out to take care of St. Vincent and then put me in here kind of last minute right before the school year started. So because of that, I pretty much my first real day at Dwenger, I think was like teacher day, which was like the week when school started. So
it's drinking from a fire hose from day one, right?
It certainly is.
Good stuff. All right, well, we got to let these guys get back to work, Father. I can't thank you enough for being with us, and have a great time.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Eric, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Sean. That was Father Michael Ammer, co-chaplain of Bishop Dwenger. And always great to hear from our priest, Corey, especially the newly ordained. They always have a story to tell.
Oh, so much energy from those guys that you just love to hear the passion that they have, not only for their profession, but in this case for St. Jude's Parish and for Bishop Dwenger High School.
Yeah, we've just been absolutely blessed to have the priests that we have in our diocese. 7 newly ordained this year. I've got one of them out at my parish, St. Therese. We have Father Keaton Lockwood. I was about to say Father Michael Ammer again. Father Keaton's down at St. Therese. I was able to be a part of the Diocesan World Youth Day last Saturday. Got to hear from the newly ordained Father Augustino, and he provided his story an excellent perspective. So that was wonderful to hear as well.
No question about it. Love it. And we have Father Jay Horning, who is the former chaplain at Dwenger.
Yeah.
At St. Vincent's, where I belong, and love Father Jay. He's a little more busy right now as our pastor, Father Dan, is on sabbatical. So I'm sure that's probably part of what led to Father Michael getting the nod at Bishop Dwenger. So great to have all of them. They are all outstanding in their own way.
That they are. So Corey, let's briefly talk about this ball game before we head it over to Kevin for first half stats. We've talked throughout the first half on the alternating quarterback play. Evan Springer, Bodie Dickerson, and they both have a unique skill set they bring to the table. I think so far it has been Dickerson who has been a little bit more effective in the passing game.
Yeah, I don't want to steal Kevin's thunder. He's got some stats to back that statement up, I think. But yeah, I like what I see from Bodie so far. Not that Evan's done a bad job. It just he's got a skill set, Bodie does, that allows a little more athleticism in the position, a little bit more ability to avoid a sack and move out of the pocket with the football and use his feet. And quite honestly, the stats are going to probably back up that he's been more accurate and had the ability to deliver the ball down the field, which is something we haven't seen from Springer yet.
Yep, getting involved in the vertical passing game. So without further ado, let's hear some of those stats with our own Kevin Thompson. Kevin, what do you have?
Yeah, exactly, Corey. Bodie came in. He ended up being 4 for 4 for 94 yards passing, and Springer was 1 of 4 for 20 yards passing. So, yes, Bodie come in and definitely swung the ball around. Passing, though, you would think rushing would have been more yards, but with that long reception by O'Keefe, 1 catch for 75 yards. They ended up 5 of 8 for 114 yards on the passing side. Rushing was led by Teddy Steele, 11 yards, 11 carries, 107 yards. KJ had 6 carries for 62, and KJ also had 2 catches for 20. So BD was 21 carries for 190 yards rushing in that first half. The south side, they were 21 for 56 yards rushing, and on the passing side was 2 of 8 for only 6 yards on the passing.
A couple of stats that stick out to me, Eric. Looking over Kevin's shoulder, actually 3 stats. 304 yards of total offense in the first half for the Saints. 50 yards of total offense for the Archers. That speaks to the Saints defense. And 9 penalties for the Saints again tonight in the first half, when they said it was a point of emphasis all week, coming off an 18 penalty game a week ago. And they've kept their average going with 9 so far tonight. Something they've got to clean up when they play an opponent like Homestead next week.
Yeah.
It's vital that they clean that up.
Well, and they're also going to have to be multifaceted on offense, both with the run and pass game. And you don't want to overstate the quarterback position, but it kind of is the most important position in all of sports. When you have these 2 different players both getting a crack at it, you could say on one hand, well, it's a pretty even comparison. They've both thrown 4 passes. At the same time, that's a small sample size to go off of.
Oh, absolutely.
So by no means are we saying that Evan Springer is not capable of leading that vertical passing game. But I think it would behoove the Saints to find a guy and pick a guy as soon as possible, just to give this offense continuity, consistency going forward as we head into the meat of the SAC schedule.
Quite honestly, if I was the offensive coordinator, up 32-0 coming out in the second half, the thing that I would do right now is I would put one quarterback or the other in a no-huddle situation to start this half and just chuck it. I would throw the ball on every play to see what we've got. Because I still don't think they know what they have after 2.5 games here at the quarterback spot, and they're going to need to know what they have heading into next week. So, I think it presents a really nice opportunity to come out in the second half here with a big lead and start to throw it vertically down the field a little bit just to see what you have.
Yeah. Now, you also see the score 32-0. You don't want to give the impression that you're running up the score.
No.
And there's that, but the South Side faithful might not like seeing that, but clearly there's more at play just than running the score out there.
I think it's fair game until you get to the running clock.
Yeah.
I think
was about to say
once
that.
the running clock starts over 35 points, then I think you've got to throttle it back, run the football, and get out of here.
Yeah.
But I think you have one possession in the second half here, which you're going to get the ball first, that you could come out and do some things in the passing game. Again, sort of a practice situation for next week without hurting anybody's feelings.
Absolutely. Both teams back out onto the field. We're going to step aside for one last halftime break. Be back with third quarter action here at Shields Field, Jack E. Weicker Stadium. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
Hi, sports fans. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maple Crest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their third generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
Welcome back, folks. 1 minute to go before this third quarter gets underway here at Jack E. Weicker Stadium. Bishop Dwenger on top 32-0. And this Southside Archer squad, Corey, we talked a lot about teams in the lower half of the SAC, if you will, who just face the gauntlet with some of these bigger schools. Southside has been one of those teams that just has struggled against SAC competition. And this stat right here, in my opinion, says it all. If you look back in the last 7 years under Roosevelt Norfleet, the Archers were 5-58 against SAC competition and 5-5 outside of the SAC. And so this kind of lends itself back to the discussion that you had earlier with kind of creating the divisions in the SAC, giving these smaller schools a chance to schedule some out-of-conference competition, because that number right there tells the tale of a team that is just not quite up to par on the same level as some of those bigger schools.
Yeah, I got I don't want to say reprimanded, but I was given the business a bit by our our former athletic director. I'll touch on that in a minute. Go on.
Hey, let's send it down to Sean. He's down on the sideline with Coach Garrett.
Right, thanks, guys. With Coach Garrett. Coach, a lot of penalties in the first half. Does that mean a lot of wind sprints?
It's a process. I keep thinking process. Obviously, we got to swing some things. A couple of those, we just got some new guys at new positions. The cut block outside, that's the new tackles. So some of those things are that way. But yeah, we definitely got to clean stuff up.
But you can't quarterback in the second half. We saw some things going on there in the second quarter, and very interesting. We're
going to stay the course. We were going every other series, and we're going to reevaluate after tonight. So we're going to stay the course with that, stay the course with our right tackle as well. We're going every other series there as well. And hopefully we get in a position to get some other guys in and increase our depth.
Good stuff. Thanks, Coach. All right, guys, back up to you.
He said something very interesting there about staying the course, not only at the quarterback position, but also at the tackle position. And you mentioned earlier how important the quarterback position is. We didn't even know they were alternating at tackle. So, that just kind of speaks to that whole scenario.
Right.
But we were talking earlier about divisions in the SAC. Our former athletic director, John Bennett, who recently retired, still consulting, I think, both here at Dwenger and at Lures, told me that that came up in an athletic director meeting not that long ago about the divisions within the conference, and was overwhelmingly defeated by and voted down by the athletic directors, just by the schools. So it sounds like it's something that the schools are not interested in doing yet, for a wide range of reasons, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But as a fan of the game and a fan of local football, I will say, even though they're not in favor of it right now, I wish they'd take a look at it. Because, as you mentioned, 5-5 out of conference for the Archers over the last 7 years versus, what was the stat?
5-58.
Yeah, 5-58. So I can't imagine that those kids wouldn't enjoy playing someone else occasionally, other than an SAC opponent.
Right, and those you got teams like New Haven and Leo and Marion, some of those teams that they have beat in sectional action over the last couple of years. Those are still quality area programs that the Southside Archers, I'm sure, would love to have a chance to play some more of those teams. We get things going in the third quarter. And that kick is covered up with some extra coverage there at the 43-yard line.
Well, yeah, we giggle, but that's a really nice job
It is.
by both 18 and 42 for the Saints. That would be on the recovery. That's 18 Jack Ellis. And then we said the 42 for the Saints, that's Cameron Hoffman, who covered him up. And that's exactly what you want to see fundamentally from your kickoff return team on an onside kick like that, is to get on it and protect the guy who got on it.
Yep. 1st and 10, as you heard Coach Garrett say, they're going to stay the course on the alternating quarterback possession here. So Evan Springer with the ball. He's going to hand off to KJ Tippman. Aziz Dixon.
Second half back, it seems. He came in, scored a touchdown right at the end of the first half, and going to go fresh legs with Aziz here in a second.
Pick up the 7 yards on first. 3. Saints go no huddle.
But very slowly.
But yes.
A measured no huddle.
Right. Springer under center, I formation. They'll fake the handoff, looks to throw, fires one down the sideline, and a nice looking ball there caught by O'Keefe down inside the 30-yard line.
That's one of the better balls he's thrown in 3 weeks down the field.
Yeah.
That one was right on point, and that's not an easy ball to throw. He threw that sort of a corner route over the shoulder from the opposite hash across the field, and that's got to travel in the air quite a bit. That's a nice throw from Evan Springer.
Yep, you've got to fit it over the defense. You've got to fit it in before the receiver hits the sideline. Well executed as Aziz Dixon takes the first down handoff down to the 25.
And Lattimore in there on the tackle. Looks like the Archers have a young man limping out there. 16, that's Perry Stowe, who maybe caught the brunt of that last tackle.
Makes it off the field before the snap. Here's Dixon around the right side this time, spinning his way forward. And he's going to have another Saints first down.
Yeah, good looking run there off tackle by Aziz Dixon. Picks up that first down, and they're moving the chains in chunks of yardage right now to start the second half.
1st and 10 for Bishop Dwenger
That
on
they
the
are.
17-yard line.
We'll see if Springer gets another chance to go to the air on this drive, but here is 1st and 10. Looking, firing. He's got a man in the corner of the end zone and juggled at the back corner and falling incomplete, looking for Rocco Sioka.
Yeah, that was a better throw. I felt that play was going to happen before it did. A little fade route on the outside to Sioka, but just couldn't come up with it. I thought Evan did a pretty good job right there of giving him a chance to catch that, though.
Yeah.
Something he hasn't done real well thus far this season, but that one I felt like had a legitimate shot to be caught.
And placing it where only his man could get it.
Well said.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Saints come out in I formation. O'Keefe moves in motion. They'll fake the handoff, go back to Sioka in the end zone again. This time he catches it. And a touchdown, but a flag. We'll see if they're going to call offensive interference.
It sure looked offensive there. We'll be interested to see what they call. They rarely call offensive.
Yeah, Sioka extended those hands. Just a question of how much separation that helped them get. And they're going to call it on the Archers.
Yeah, it often happens. If you're on the Archers sideline, you got to wonder exactly what in the world do we have to do there? But because it clearly looked like the extended arms were from the offensive player in that situation. But Rocco got away with it, and the Saints did really sort of what I had hoped and thought they might do in that first series, is go to the air a bit to try to polish some things up before next week.
Well, Springer was effective on that drive, hooking up with the Saints' top 2 targets, Henry O'Keefe and Rocco Sioka, the latter for a Saints touchdown. And the PAT, no good.
I believe that was Ryan Ward.
Yep.
And Ryan unsuccessful on that after touchdown attempt.
So your score, Bishop Dwenger 38 and Southside 0. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on BD Media Productions.
You know, there's three kinds of people in this world. Those that get the numbers and those that don't. If you need professional help when it comes to the numbers, whether it's payroll, accounting, or professional or personal taxes, come see the experts at Management and Tax Services. Proud to be Dwenger supporters for over 60 years.
We are back at Archer Field, where the Saints have just taken the lead 38-0 on a Rocco Sioka touchdown grab. And that enacts the running clock here. 35-point lead or more. Running clock goes into effect. So as soon as the Saints kick this ball off, you will see the clock run. Or we will see it at least, and we'll tell you about it.
Well said.
And we see them enforcing the penalty yardage on the kickoff. So actually they'll be kicking this one off from the 45-yard line.
Off for the Saints, number 81, Joseph Moran.
Wow, that's the first I have seen that. I thought you just decline that penalty and move on, but you get the pass interference penalty on the kickoff? I have not seen that before. I have to check. I've got to check my rule book on that one.
And Jaden Morris.
Yeah, you'll have to get back to us on that, Corey. So that kickoff is going to travel halfway deep into the end zone for a touchback.
That'll be a touchback. The ball will be out to the Archer 20-yard line. We'll have it 1st and 10.
So Southside back on offense. And waiting for that running clock to start, as it should here any second. So, Corey, we talked a little bit about head coach Guy Lee taking over for the Southside Archers. And exciting for him. He's back at Southside. His coaching career started here at South in 1996 as an assistant coach 25 years ago. So he's come full circle. He spent some time as an assistant coach at Heritage. He's coached football at many levels, youth, semi-pro, even indoor football. And back here at Southside, as we see a gain of about 6 yards on first down for Quincy English.
Really nice tackle on that play. Christian Lozado has been a man on a mission tonight. I mean, he is just, looks like he's been shot out of a cannon when he's making his tackles this evening, both on the kickoff team and now on defense, playing middle linebacker.
This time a swing pass out of the backfield, crossed the 30-yard line. Looks like another Southside first down.
A lot of clean jerseys in there for the Saints now on defense. Great to see some other gentlemen get an opportunity.
So that is going to be a fresh set of downs. 4 wideouts. Again, a swing into the backfield. And another pickup here, just of maybe a yard, just across the line of scrimmage for Anthony Thomas.
Really dangerous swing route again, where that's a lateral.
Yep.
If he drops that, it's a live ball.
Let's check in with Sean McBride.
Hey guys, just looking over Max preps here and getting some information from around the conference. And of course, we've got the 38-0 score here. We have an update out in the 04, 35-28 as the Spartans are clawing back with about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the only other score they have is Carroll 7, Fort Wayne North 0. I doubt that's accurate, but we're going to see if we can dig deeper into that one. Back up to you.
Yeah,
all right,
I would certainly expect that there'd be more points scored in that one. But nonetheless, yeah, that might be an early one.
Jeff Becker conceivably back under center tonight. He had to sit out last week. And how about the effort by Owen Scheel in his place?
Phenomenal job. Quite frankly, Doug Dinan and offensive coordinator Andy Papagiannis getting that backup quarterback ready to play and to beat Snyder is just a tremendous playing by the young man, but some great coaching as well.
Yeah, having to engineer a game-winning drive against Snyder in your first varsity action. Incomplete pass that time. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
That goes incomplete.
So, yeah, as we talk about Coach Guy Lee coming back to Southside, not only is it his 25 years since starting his coaching career at Southside, this is also the 100-year anniversary of Southside as a high school. And Coach Lee has been vocal about wanting to return that Southside pride here to South Calhoun Street. And, you know, that starts with trying to get wins in conference. It also starts with trying to get more players out to play football. And Coach Lee been one of those guys who's just kind of roaming the halls, trying to get players out, players who have played in other sports. Hey, let's come out, try football. Let's see what skills you have athletically that could translate onto the football field. Booming punt here for Hapner. It's going to be fielded on the run. And a return out the right sideline by the Saints. That's number 13, Owen Zimmerman.
Wow. Some young Saints getting an opportunity to touch the football. Great to see. Well, I think you're right about, you know, a renewed spirit out here on South Calhoun. I mean, I just looked through the stands and been coming to Dwenger Southside games for about the last decade, and this is as good a crowd I've seen from the Archers. Got the band right down in front of us. You know, there's really a good high school football atmosphere here, and so you can sense that Coach Lee's really building something.
Yeah. First down for the Saints. Going to be Bodie Dickerson keeping this football and stepping inside, able to gain some extra yards across the 50.
Yeah, that's a dimension that Bodie brings to the quarterback position that I don't think Evan Springer has at his disposal. The ability to run the football when he needs to, use his legs, has good speed. Bodie's a very good athlete, and yeah, I like to see that. It just makes them a little bit more difficult to defend.
Dickerson able to pick up about an extra 5 yards there after making the cut. This time Aziz Dixon straight through the middle following blockers and is all the way inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a straight handoff on sort of a zone read looking play, and that's something that you know, the defense is not going to even look twice at Evan Springer to possibly keep that ball, but with Bodie Dickerson in there, they may have to defend that. So you got to keep another defender out of that tackle on the running back in order to make sure that the quarterback doesn't keep it.
Another run play for the Saints. Dixon this time able to pick up about, looks like 7 yards.
And this appears to be a second string offensive line in there as well right now, and they're doing a good job up front.
Dickerson rolling to his right, looking to throw. Fires it across the middle behind his intended receiver that time.
Yeah, got to be careful with that one. You certainly don't want to throw it late and behind over the middle.
Yeah.
Was able to get away with it there.
Defending for the Archers, Jermaine Freeman. I'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Saints.
Yep, looking for Carter Minix there. We'll see what they dial up on 3rd down. We've seen the Saints hand it off on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 plenty of times, trusting that offensive line. Dixon standing beside Dickerson. Dickerson looks to throw. He's going to step up. He's going to tuck it and run himself, looking for a block on the edge, and he will get near the 25-yard line.
Did not get the first down, though, but they are down here in four down territory, so you would presume that they will continue here.
Yep, needed 7 yards, got about 5.5.
But I still like the decision.
Yeah,
I really do. You know, he realizes where he's at on the field, that we're probably in 4 down territory, and gets us to a 4th and short situation.
Dickerson's going to keep it himself, and the water's part.
Yeah, plenty of room there on the old quarterback sneak.
That run will result in a Bishop Dwenger first down.
It's always been an effective play when you're running behind that offensive line, and especially impressive considering the backups in on the line right now.
For sure. Those young men are doing a nice job up front.
Yeah. So we're already ticking down to 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. That running clock is a wonder. 3 receivers to the top of your screen, looks out in that direction, fires it into the end zone. He's got a man and a flag on the field. Looks to be a pass interference situation.
That is a really good throw and decision from Bodie Dickerson there. That ball was intended for 41 of the Saints, and 41 is Charlie Zerbick. Charlie Zerbick.
Let's see what Sean McBride sees down there on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, I was right down here. Well, I am right down here in the corner of this end zone right here, and I was watching Dickerson as he went through his check downs, and absolutely from the corner of my eye did I see this route develop, and he was already on it, and it was a beautiful, beautiful pass thrown right where only the receiver could get it, and it was a great call by the official. So well done, Bodie Dickerson.
Like what I see so far from Bodie, he's managed his opportunity tonight very well.
That he has. Here he's going to tuck this one, looking and finding a man open in the end zone, and that's going to be a Bishop Dwenger score.
That was a play that reminded you a lot of the plays we've seen made by the quarterback position at Bishop Dwenger over the last 3 years, quite frankly. The ability to buy some time and then find an open receiver and deliver. And really good series there by number 11, Bodie Dickerson.
Yeah, you've got to have the composure, and he showed it there, to know where the defenders are, to know exactly how much time you have to get rid of the football, and all the while running through your progressions to find the man coming open in the end zone. And I believe, was that number 17 on the receiving end?
Is that Simon Garrett?
Yep. Or it could have been.
Oh, we're hearing it was 88 on the catch, Max Robinson.
Okay.
There's a flag on the field.
Saints are flagged on that play. We did hear the third quarter gun.
They're going to play one more here at the end of the quarter to kick this extra point.
Yep. So Mr. Ward getting another crack at the PAT this time.
And yeah, we shouldn't gloss over Max Robinson with his first varsity touchdown.
Yeah.
Good catch in the corner of the end zone.
This kick will be no good, actually off of the back of one of the linemen there. So your score remains 44-0, and that brings us to the end of quarter number 3. We'll be back after this break. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
That will end your third quarter.
You see them everywhere. That preferred auto bumper sticker. All makes and models. You ever wonder why? It's simple. We've worked hard over the last 30-plus years to earn your trust.
And with all the unknowns right now in the auto industry, we're still confident in one thing. With over $6 million in inventory, I'm sure we have the perfect vehicle for you.
So stop by any of our 3 convenient locations and see what sets us apart from the rest.
Preferred Auto.
We are back at Archer Field. 44-0 is your score as we get set to start quarter number 4. And it gives us a chance to remind you that Tippmann Properties is a proud supporter of the Saints and is currently leasing in multiple locations throughout Fort Wayne, including the historic Lincoln Tower. For details regarding available space, call Larry at 260-469-5447. Let's check in with Sean back down on the sideline. Sean?
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for down here on the sidelines with Bishop Dwenger's new development director,
Lee. Katie, thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
You bet, Katie. And this is a brand new gig for you. I know you're a St. East gal, you and your family. But tell me about the first days here at Bishop Dwenger and what your impressions are so far.
I can't say how blessed I am. When they say Bishop Dwenger family, they mean it. And so I've been a great friend of the community. And it's really been the fun is it's a real blessing.
Good deal. So, as the government is development, your main functions are the financial help to the school, along with the administration. So you get to do a lot of fun stuff.
I do actually. Updates for some upcoming events, and go jewelry shopping for some of our items that we'll be auctioning off. So it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. The other interesting fact that people don't really know, and I know he's very busy tonight, but Mr. Slee is the new athletic director at Bishop Dwenger, and so I guess who's the boss? Is that off limits?
No, I guess
Thomas. He takes it around the right side.
All right, we're going to send it back up to the booth, guys. That's the Katie Slee, development director for Bishop Dwenger High School. Back up to you.
All right, thank you, Sean. It's a fair question.
She was very diplomatic.
Yeah.
On the play for the Archers, bring up 2nd and 9.
Very cool to have
on their own 37-yard line.
Katie as part of the team. Welcome to the Dwenger family.
Yeah, her and her husband.
Yeah.
Greg, for that matter, and great to have them at Bishop Dwenger. Another great Bishop Dwenger family.
Yeah, both have been instrumental with BD Media Productions as well.
They have.
Going to be a 2nd down for the Archers now. And a nice pass down coming towards the middle of the field that time. And it's caught by Ashton Johnson.
Yeah, the Archers have done a decent job here, picked up a 1st down, and now have a 3rd and about 2.5 to pick up another 1st down on this drive with inside the 10-minute mark, but we are going to stop the clock, even though we're in a running clock situation, as we have an Archer who's down on the field, appears a bit of an injury here.
Yep, we will step aside as they tend to the injured Archer and be back in a few moments. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions. We are back at Jack Weicker Stadium as the injured Archer able to get up and walk it off. That is Christian Benzinger, 6'2" senior.
Good to see that.
Yeah, boy, Corey, I wanted to take a chance just to mention to you Saints fans out there, exciting moment for a former Saint this weekend. Tomorrow, as number 12 Wisconsin hosts number 19 Penn State in the college football season opener, it's going to be none other than former Saint Joe Tippmann getting the start at center for the 12th ranked Badgers.
As many of our watchers and listeners know him as Big Joe Tippmann.
Big Joe.
I saw on the roster they have him listed at 6'8", 330.
Yeah, that qualifies as big. Although among that Wisconsin offensive line, he might look like average Joe.
No kidding, yeah.
Don't get confused.
O-lineman U at Wisconsin.
Yeah. So really cool to see him. Actually, he had never played center before. Of course, he was not a center when he was here at the Saints, but training camp this fall, he made the switch, and he's going to be starting for the Badgers as a redshirt sophomore. So really exciting to see that. He redshirted his freshman season in 2019, saw limited action, only 2 games last year due to a shoulder injury. And hey, it doesn't hurt, Corey, when you're roommates with the starting quarterback, by the way, Graham Mertz.
Yeah, no kidding. How about that? I was not aware. That's a nice nugget of information there. If we're talking about former alums, I can mention that I had the opportunity to play some golf this week with our Hall of Fame former head coach, Chris Schwartzgoff, and
very nice.
He recently talked to none other than Tyler Eifert on the phone. They keep in touch quite well, and Tyler, as many of you know, has retired from the NFL. He is living in West Palm Beach, Florida, which is tough duty, and from what I understand, has ownership in 4 fitness centers down there while he is enjoying the Florida sunshine, and believe he's got a young daughter, he and his wife, so it sounds like they're doing great, and no longer playing at the NFL level, but enjoying life down in Florida.
Well, had a heck of a career there. Pro bowler with the Bengals, finished out with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and as you said, having to finish out your retirement at age 30 in Florida. Man, tough gig.
Rough duty, yeah. The former Mackey winner as the best tight end in the country at Notre Dame. Little known fact that he was not even recruited for offense out of high school. He was recruited to play defense by Charlie Weiss's staff, and ends up at tight end and becomes the best one in the country.
Incomplete pass, looking for Quincy English down the sideline. As we mentioned, you mentioned Notre Dame. As we look at Big Joe and what is ahead for him, Wisconsin's going to get to play Notre Dame at Soldier Field. And that's going to be an awesome environment, great opportunity for Tippmann, and I'm sure there's going to be more than a couple Bishop Dwenger fans and Tippmanns who will make that trip to Chicago.
No question.
Interesting wrinkle as well that Jack Cohn named the starting quarterback for the Irish, former Wisconsin quarterback. So that's going to be a heck of a ball game. And have no fear, Saints fans, if you don't want to drive to Chicago, the Wisconsin Badgers also have a trip to West Lafayette scheduled in October. Take on the Purdue Boilermakers. So a couple chances to see Big Joe in action this year with the Wisconsin Badgers.
He's got a receiver. There
Deep throw, and he's going to be brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Derek Roosh. Yeah, nice catch down there by Derek, and the Archers' first real threat to put some points on the board here inside the 5. I think we had Sean down there with something on his mind.
Yeah, guys, just another quick update. The Spartans are not going to go quietly into the night. At last update, 11:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Lures 38, Homestead 35. Woo. Another update here, Leo 41 and Norwell 7.
Wow. And the Archers are on the board.
That they are.
That's a pass from 17, Lorenz Tabron to number 3, Ashton Johnson.
Had himself wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, just looked like a little mix-up in coverage from the Saints' backup defense, and the Archers able to get on the board. But what a game out in the 04. Wow. 38-35 Lures right now with nearly a full quarter to play.
Well, both of the Lures matchups against the 6A powers, Homestead and Carroll, have been billed as, high-profile, top-billing games, and they have both lived up to all expectations.
No kidding.
38-31, Bishop Lures over Carroll in Week 1, and 38-35 is the early fourth quarter lead for Bishop Lures tonight. And both those games on the road, really impressive as two-point conversion unsuccessful. But how about Coach Kyle Lindsey getting his squad ready when you have 2 6A teams in your first 3 games of the season? You don't really need to get your team amped for those games, but you do need to get them ready to take on such big opponents, and they've done just that.
I was curious as to whether they would be able to handle the physicality and playing teams that big, teams with that large of roster versus what they can field at 2A Lures.
Yeah.
But questions answered, I'd say.
Yeah,
not a problem.
Right. Regardless of win or loss tonight by Lures, I think they've made believers out of a lot of people in the SAC.
No question about it. They are for real and a real threat to win this thing.
Yeah.
I've been really, really impressed by the maturation of their quarterback, Carson Clark. The change in him, it was like a light bulb went on towards the end of last season
Yeah.
And he has just picked up right where he left off in that playoff run a year ago, playing with a tremendous amount of confidence.
Well, he's been, starting for his third year on varsity this year, and he got his first start back against the Saints at Shields Field in the Battle of the Bishops 2019. As the kickoff fielded by Carter Minnix. And he is going to be across the 35, 40, 45. Wrestled down just short of midfield.
I know Carson Clark a little bit from my past days working with the OPS Football Academy, and I can tell you he is a consummate worker. He is a kid that leaves no stone unturned. He is a gym rat, as they say, loves to work on his craft, and does a great job of film study as well. So it's not shocking to me that he's doing what he's doing. Saints have a new quarterback in once again. 19, Caden Brown.
Indeed. And how about this handoff down the far sideline?
Corbin
Till. Till is going to go all the way for a touchdown, a 54-yard run, and the Saints are back on the board again.
One play, one score, and we've hit the half a century mark here, 50-6.
That's so exciting for the Saints sideline. Not only do the young guys get to play, but to get a sniff and a taste of the end zone there, upperclassmen always happy about that. So 50-6 is your score. As the Saints will try to boot this one through. Another new kicker out there, and that looks like number 21. And Parker Burns.
Holding for the Saints, Owen Zimmerman.
If you notice that we pause often when we look at the roster, it's because there are 116 players on it, and the font is so small that it is difficult to read. So with 116 players on the roster from grades just 10 through 12, the Saints program, I think, is doing just fine.
I would agree with that. And it also creates the challenge of multiple jersey numbers for a lot of those numbers. So
yeah, you got to be careful who you put on what special team for sure.
Right. Referee's having a conversation back at the goal line here. Maybe just hanging out, who knows. Talking about where they're going for some grub after the game. Let's check in with Sean on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Latest update here, Wayne 12, Northrop 27, and they're getting into the fourth quarter there. And it's tough to find some updates there. I think everyone is locked on the games instead of tweeting right now. So I need some of our fans to start tweeting some games around the SAC so I can get them up to you. Back up to you.
All right, thanks, Sean. Two of the winless teams in the SAC, Wayne, Northrop, and it looks like the Bruins are going to get the win there. So a nice bounce back for Jason Dorfler and company after losing to this Southside squad last week.
Deep for the Archers, Donnie Moore.
Yeah, certainly shaping up to be an exciting SAC race.
Kicking for the Saints, number 81, Joseph Moran.
I think there's about 5 teams that have a legitimate claim as a contender in the SAC right now.
I think you're right. I think, yeah, if Lures would happen to get that win tonight, they, oh, hello.
How about this, a wide open return, and it's going to be a foot race down the sideline, and he is gone.
What a move at about the 35-yard line that Anthony Thomas put on a Dwenger defender. I don't want to call him out by name, but there is a flag way back at the Archers 20.
And I tell you what, they threw that flag right when the ball was snapped.
I think that's going to be a sideline warning, and I'm hoping that won't have an impact on the play because he deserves to score after that electric play.
By Anthony Thomas. That flag goes against the Bishop Dwenger Saints.
Yep, sideline warning.
So that will stand. 90 yards on the return for Anthony Thomas.
He juked a young Dwenger defender out of his shoes at about the 35-yard line and was able to take it to the house. So outstanding run back and no fight in those Archers. No fight, or still have a lot of fight, I should say.
Right. So 50-12 is your score now as the Saints come out to put the finishing touches on this victory. Clock is still ticking, 1:25 to go in the ball game. But nice to see the Archer faithful get rewarded for coming out tonight. Couple electric plays.
Yeah, that run was worth the price of admission right there.
That's right. So they will assess the penalty here. The Saints are going to be on their own 2-yard line. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the two-point conversion. And it is caught.
Number 3, Ashton Johnson, went way up over an undersized corner there from the Saints and high-pointed that ball for the 2-point conversion. So good for the Archers to have some positivity here at the end. 53 seconds remain in this one.
So 50-14 is your score. As you said, Corey, nice atmosphere out here at Archer Field. Marching band, the cheerleaders, and the Archer faithful, of course, as well. No fight in that marching band either.
Yeah, plenty of fight left.
Of course.
And they have stuck it out all the way to the bitter end. Normally the marching band goes home after halftime, but not this crew.
Not so. They'll get set to kick this one away. Just want to remind you folks, big matchup next week. Of course, we're still waiting for to see how that Lures-Homestead game ends. But either way, the Bishop Dwenger Saints are going to have their hands full against Homestead at Shields Field a week from tonight. Corey, you made the point earlier off air that it might be a bit of more of a challenge for Jason Garrett and company to be facing the Homestead off of a loss. You don't want to get Chad Zolman on his bad side.
No, and it's just from a coaching perspective. I know that, whoa, I think Carter Minix came out of both shoes on that run. He lost both shoes. That's something I've never seen before. Anyway, the point I was making was winning cures a lot of ills, if you will, and when you lose, it magnifies those blemishes, so to speak, and you get a lot corrected in a week of practice. So I would rather face Homestead, in theory, coming off a win than off a loss.
Yeah. Well, we know that after tonight, there's only going to be 2 undefeated teams left in the SAC. One of them is walking the midfield stripe right now, the Bishop Dwenger Saints. They are going to emerge from Archer Field with a 50-14 victory over the Southside Archers. The only question is, who will the other undefeated team be, Bishop Lures or Homestead? And we'll try to get a final score tonight before we go off air. Let's see if Sean McBride has an update down on the sideline. Sean?
Yeah, this is really something, guys. Homestead 32, Bishop Lures 38, and it looks to be about 7 minutes left in the contest.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Spartans have come back after trailing by 2 scores. They've taken the lead. We'll have to see how that one finishes up. Exciting game. However it shakes out in the closing minutes up in the 04.
Like to catch an Uber and head out to the last 7 minutes of that one.
That's right. So we're going to take our last break, be back to wrap things up from Archer Field. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.
St. Anne Communities is a senior living community including a rehabilitation center, memory and dementia care, assisted and residential living, as well as a nursing facility that served the community for over 54 years. While offering a Christ-centered environment that is the only place in Fort Wayne that offers daily Mass and sacraments, For more information on employment, senior living, or to make a gift to support the first floor renovation campaign, please visit us at our website or give us a call.
Evans Toyota is locally owned and proudly supports Bishop Dwenger. Let's go Saints!
Can First Source help me get more space?
We can help with that.
Does First Source have banking that can keep up with me?
This is open around the clock.
Business is booming. Can you help me expand?
No problem.
Can First Source help me turn this into my own business?
We're here for you. No matter what kind of banking you need, First Source Bank can help.
Tippmann Group is a family-owned business that's proud to call Fort Wayne home. We build cold storage facilities all around the United States, run one of the largest cold storage companies in the nation, and lease office space in Fort Wayne, like inside the Lincoln Tower.
Hi, I'm John Tippmann, president of Tippmann Group, and our family has been part of the Bishop Dwenger family for many years. We are a proud supporter of Dwenger Athletics. Go Saints!
Bishop Dwenger moves to 3-0 on the season, and Southside falls to 1-2. Well, Corey, as we take a look at this game, obviously a lot of points on the scoreboard. We saw two quarterbacks tonight getting alternating reps, getting chances with the offense, and I think we saw some positive signs from both of them. And as Jason Garrett and company are going to take a look at the tape and see where to go from here, what do you expect them to see when they look at the tape?
You know, it's funny that you say that. That was going to be my discussion here at the end, was that we opened it up, threw it a little bit more throughout the course of the game, and saw positive things from both, which probably doesn't really answer any further questions. But I think one of the things that it did was it showed us that both are capable of getting the job done. So that's a nice luxury as well, to have two guys that could potentially do it. They each bring a little different skill set, and so I'm curious to see what this coaching staff does going forward. I'm a little concerned if they're getting equal reps in practice. That means neither one of them's getting, as many as they might need. But nonetheless, for now, it appears that they're going to continue to use both in some capacity, and until somebody separates themselves.
Yep, I think we saw from Bodie Dickerson and Evan Springer things to build off of, and it's going to be up to the coaching staff to decide what way to go. And I think that decision, in a lot of ways, is going to come down to as they look at the schedule going forward. Who's going to have the best? Who's going to put your team in the best position to win? Dickerson, of course, being the junior, he's got some more time left. In some ways, it would be nice to see him get the playing time and build a little bit for next year. But you don't want to look past this year right now if you're this coaching squad. And with that big matchup against Homestead looming, you better believe that the Saints are going to call a starter sooner rather than later to get a lot of preparation time in.
It's a really, really tough decision in my eyes, because Bodie showed us tonight that he brings a couple of things that Evan Springer doesn't. He has the ability to make plays with his feet a little bit more than Evan, and I think he's got a little stronger arm down the field. Now, Evan has been a pretty good game manager so far, and so I just don't know what direction they're going to go, but I'm with you. I'd like to see them come to a conclusion, because I think it benefits the offense.
Yeah. Well, let's check in with Kevin Thompson on some final stats for tonight. What do you have for us?
Yeah, just real quick, the Total offense, Bishop Dwenger 43 plays, 459 yards. Southside 42 plays, 125. Dwenger had 297 yards rushing, 162 yards passing. Southside was 62 yards rushing, 63 yards passing. So most of that in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, that Bishop Dwenger defense, again, standing tall tonight. Both Archer touchdowns coming against backups. So
now, they did have a running clock in the second half, but they cleaned up a lot of the penalty issues. I think the Saints had just one penalty in the second half. So went from 9 in the first half to 1 in the second half, which is a vast improvement.
That it is. I'll leave you with this, Corey. The stat continues for the Saints. They improve to a record of 33-1 under Coach Garrett when allowing 14 points or less. So Saints move to 3-0 on the year, as we said. They have a big matchup coming next Friday night, hosting the Homestead Spartans. That game is going to be out at Shields Field, and it will, of course, be right here on BD Media Production. So be sure to tune in. Game time is 7 o'clock. We will go live at 6:50, and Sean McBride will be behind the mic. Exciting opportunity for Sean to get back. All you listeners out there who've been with Sean all the years on Redeemer Radio, another chance to hear him behind the mic. And Corey, I will be out getting ready for our Church Fall Festival, St. Therese. So we look forward to having a festival out on September 11th. If you guys listening or watching have nothing to do September 11th, come down to St. Therese Church. Hopefully have some fun, some food, and a lot of good entertainment for you. So that's going to do it for us here. A big thanks to Parker Knoll running the board for us tonight, getting us on the internet and going. Also, big thanks to Greg Jones for helping us out on camera tonight. We had several different Bishop Dwenger students combining, and so we'd like to thank those students, Seth Schiffley, Jackie Vasquez, and Anthony Segedy, all helping us out on camera tonight. Well, Sean McBride was our sideline reporter. We had Kevin Thompson on stats. And for Corey Kitchen, I'm Eric Pete, thanking you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. May God bless you. You're watching Bishop Dwenger Football on BD Media Productions.